Last time on Racer TV, New York Seneca Highlands played host to the Tomahawk GNCC, where anything can happen. Conditions were once again unfavorable this week, but definitely raceable. The whole shot and early lead went to Walker Fowler, who was still in search of win number 50, which seemed to be eluding him. On paper, leading nearly every lap, it was a true dogfight between Bryson Neal and Cole Richardson as the three swapped the lead multiple times throughout the day. Every time Walker would lose position, he would somehow find his way back. In the closing miles, Bryson Neal had taken over the lead and looked like was going to win the race. However, fate and mechanical issues for Bryson Neal would help Fowler back out front to battle with Richardson down to the checkers, where Walker Fowler would finally take win number 50. Will Walker Fowler be back in the winner's circle again today, or will someone else take his honors? Stick around. Racer TV is next.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Welcome to the GNCC Racing Series presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We're out here on Snowshoe Mountain for the AMSOIL Snowshoe GNCC. Landon, round number 8. We're coming off a historical GNCC weekend where we saw Walker Fowler picking up his 50th win, surpassing Barry Hawk.
Yeah, I know Walker's been waiting a couple races for that. He's had a few hiccups here earlier in the year, and finally was able to put it together at the Tomahawk and got his 50th career win. Huge day for him. I know he's coming back into this weekend wanting more. But we have really good competition in that XC1 class. You know, we got Cole Richardson, who was second at Tomahawk, and Bryson Neal in third. But both of them, plus more, are fighting for that top spot, race in and race out. It has been, and of course, it's Snowshoe Mountain. You can't forget about the Gator going after a win here in Snowshoe. You know he's got his eyes on that. And, of course, the XC2 continuing his streak, John Glotta with another win there. Yeah, pretty impressive out of him. He is 7 for 7 on wins as of right now. And this is going to be a tough one. You know, the Snowshoe Mountain is anyone's race. We could have a brand-new winner in XC2, or we might see John Glotta come out on top again. But no, it's been good racing. You know, behind him we have Drew Landers, who's got a couple seconds now, I believe, and Jordan Poplowski in the number 3 spot. It's a solid race and a round to go. We got more in store for us here today. We've got the stage set. Now let's go to Jared Bolton with the track description.
All right, thanks guys, and welcome back to Snowshoe Mountain for the toughest, most unique, rockiest, muddiest race we've got all year. This is a fantastic event, and what better place to have a motorcycle and ATV race. It's been raining a little bit since we've been here. That's going to add an extremely tough technical challenge to this course that's already rocky and technical enough. What's that mean? Well, it's going to give the guys that strive in those tough conditions a little bit of an advantage. And you know what? It's going to be really fun to watch, too. So you guys check it out. Going to be in for a real treat for some great racing here this weekend.
Thanks, Bolton. That looks like an absolute epic Snowshoe GNCC track here today, Landon. Yeah, I think we're going to have another good race just like we have here in years past. I know I'm going to be spending some time in the booth with Rodney today talking about all this action, talking about all these battles, but do you have any idea what you might be doing today? We're changing it up. I'm heading for Howard's Hole. I'm hanging out with the Mud Fleece today. I'll see you guys down there. All right, sounds like a good time. Let's head on down to Rodney at the starting line.
At thanks a lot, guys, down here on the starting line at Snowshoe Mountain Resort, where all of a sudden things have changed. We started out with a nice sunshiny day earlier this morning, and, well, as we got ready to roll down here onto the starting line, it started raining a little bit, and, of course, with Adam McGill being here, and we're on McGill's Mountain, so to speak, I don't think that much matters, does it?
It does not. I think the gods are crying because they know there's an ass whooping coming for this whole row of pros, baby.
And I guess you're the one that's about ready to divvy it out, huh?
Oh, yeah, we're going to hand this stuff out here. We're definitely, we're super pumped. All you fans out there, make sure you don't drink all the beer because I want one from everybody that's here when we're done.
All righty. Are you ready to go, Snowshoe?
Let's head!
All righty, let's meet our starting lineup. And rolling to the line, a little different today as far as our starting lineup is concerned in this GNCC Racing Nation. We got the top 20 overall, and the top 20 are points on the first rows. And, of course, we're going to introduce to you the top 10 in this class, or in this overall. And the way this is going to work, we're going to start with our 6 through 10 first because they're starting on row 2 first. And rolling to the line first today, he is 6th in points. And, of course, riding aboard that number 2 out of Casca, Pennsylvania, the Maxis Elka Moose Racing Honda, Jared the Sneaky Snake McClure. Rolling to the line next today, he is 7th in points. He rides aboard the number 9. He is the rookie from Newfield, New York on a Maxis Ithaca Recreation Sports WPS Fly Racing Yamaha, Hunter Hart. Rolling to the line, 8th today in points. He is currently ranked 1st in points in the XC2 Pro-Am class. And, of course, riding aboard that number 712 machine. He hails from Waxhaw, North Carolina, Pierce Performance Fly Racing Maxis Tires machine, John Glada Jr. Rolling to the line next, 9th in points, aboard the number 741. He is an AMA ATV Pro as well as an XC1 Pro from Myersville, Maryland. Ryland Johnson Racing, GB Motorsports, Yield Cycle Barn Suzuki of Wesley Roll. And 10th in points, aboard the number 12, a 25-year professional veteran here in the XC1 Pro class. He hails from Aurora, Ohio on a GBC Fly Racing HMF Yamaha, Johnny Gallagher. And now, your top 5. Rolling to the line today, 1st in points, aboard the number 1, with 50 wins to his credit, hailing out of the great state of Rogers, Ohio, the Yamaha GBC Tires Fly Racing machine, Walker Fowler. Up next, rolling to the line, 2nd in points, aboard the number 3. He won here a year ago out of Sunbury, Pennsylvania on a Fly Maxis Racing Yield Cycle Barn Suzuki, Chris Burridge. Rolling to the line, 3rd in points. He rides aboard the number 4 from Bidwell, Ohio on a Lansville Cross Country CST Tires Hauser Yamaha, Bryson Neal. He is 4th in points, riding aboard the number 5. Next up from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, an Action Off-Road GBC Motorwaz Yamaha, Cole Richardson, the Coltrane. And 5th in points, aboard the 521. He's won here a total of 4 times, the winningest racer on this mountain from the great state of West Virginia, Adam McGill. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for this Snowshoe GNCC. Put your hands together, Snowshoe. We're ready to go! And our attention turns down here on this start line one more time today as we are poised and ready to go for a 2-hour, what I call, racing extravaganza here in the GNCC Racing Nation. And friends, let me tell you, the stage is set for a great one. As we said a year ago, Chris Burridge won this one. That one broke a dry spell, 3 years of losing to Walker Fowler and everyone else. But now, here we are a year later. Chris Burridge has a total of 75 wins, Walker with 50, and there's a whole host of other riders
that are itching to get out there on that starting line, not only on the starting line, but the racetrack itself, to roll into some form of greatness as far as this GNCC is concerned. Now, just to give you a heads up, a little different start than the traditional GNCC. This helps us pay homage to the Blackwater 100 itself, which started just like this some 44 years ago in Davis, West Virginia, only a couple of mountaintops from where we are right now. And right now, we got Ricky Towery down here. And Kevin Yoho. Row 6, West Virginia's own Brent Sturdivant. A true tradition here at Snowshoe Mountain itself as Brent Sturdivant takes off the road, his only pro row by himself. Row 7 XC2 Pro-Ams. We got Matt Blankenship, AJ Connors, and Wyatt Wilkin. Row 8 XC2 Pro-Am, Charles Dunn, Kenny Schick, Gabe Nod, and Nick Royalty ready to roll next. And they're off. Row number 9, we see XC2, Bertie Livingood, and Little Ronnie Rush. Rocket Ron is what they call him down. That Teely Energy racing machine as they're off and rolling. Row 10, more XC2, Steve Covert and Devin Masters ready to roll next. Up next, it's the Bet A30 Plus class. Big Papa P, Jeff Pickens, Chris Conklin, Mike Lancaster, and Brad Whitehead. Row number 11, off and roll with row 12, Bet A30 Plus, Tom Muscala. Todd Muscala, sorry, Dirk DeCesar, also Jeremy Gouchard, scheduled to go on road. Actually, here we go next, row 14, Michael Hayes, John Salsa, Tom Barrett, Mark Batson, Jay Turner, Brian Shaw, and Kenneth Kelly. This is row 14. This is Michael Hayes, John Salsa, Tom Barrett. They combined a couple of lines on Mark Batson, Jay Turner, Brian Shaw, Kenneth Kelly. Here we go, row 15, Jason Noble. This is senior A-Riders here. Wesley Stone, Dale Batson, and New York Dave Napo in his debut as a 30-plus rider. Row 16, Tyler Swindle, Noah Mickelson, Dylan Walraven, Rick Cox, and Cameron Avey. College A, 16 to 21, top 5. Row 17, Seth Wilson, John Ritchie, Chase Allison, Hunter Schreiber, and Mikey Nichols, 6 through 10, College A. Row 18, Davis Brinson, this is College A. Davis Brinson, Brandon Owens, Chase Vitro, and Joey Osell. A little bit of a hold-up as we see. It looks like some riders may have gone through that first turn. Some hay bales smashed down there. The crew working frantically to get things back in order, and it looks like they are as Ricky Towery signals these riders that green flag about to fly one more time, and there it goes. trying to catch back up with what row we're on. This is row 20 getting ready to take off right now. Row 19, Alan Daniels, Peyton Dalton, Hayden Nicholson, and Casey Simmons. Was row 21, Junior A coming up next. Luke Shepard, Brace, Bruce Weiler, Nick Davidson, Michael McAvoy. Row 22, Emily Wise, Paige Chrisman, Logan Wagaman, Braden Nichols, and J.D. Brown, Junior A 22 plus class. Row 23, Josh Harvey, Tyler Palmer, Jade Millwood, Zachary Phillips, Chandler Burner. Row 24, Junior A, Alex Elioff, William Wallace, David Manicati, also Torrance Johnson, and Jeremy Murdoch. Row 25, Bet B 30 plus, Nick Miller, Aaron Hendershot, Corey Triblecock, Wesley Smith, and Cody Stewart. Row 26, Bet B 30 plus, CJ Mullen, Kenny Rich, Keith Stewart, Dave Ashby, and John Higgins. Row 27 coming up next in this Bet B 30 plus class. This will be Nathan Tickle, Daryl Short, Thomas Bundy, Chris Landfield, and Cody Holcomb. Row 27 off and rolling. Row 28 poised and ready to go next with Daniel Dakota, Jason Limley, Nick Lambruno, and Robert Stevens. And looks like Senior B, we got either Greg Phillips or Brian Locke, only one of the two. That is actually Brian Locke off and rolling next, and that Senior B class. Up next, we got a conglomeration Bet B Junior A riders, Sean Tice, Jake Callahan, Evan Berluco, Peter Walk, and Justin Collins. Row 31 is going to be College B. Your top five, Dalton Keys, Grayson Ella, Aaron Greenwell, and Hunter Gotzi and Keegan Walker. That's your top five on row 31 heading into that first turn. Row 32, Braylon Segura, the 6 through 10, Cale Klein, Tanner Talbot, Cody McCauley, and Tyler Rumke. Row 33, College B, Jared Kemp, Cato Lexo, Cody Edwards, Caden Ryan. Wait for the first turn to be cleared out. Row 34 coming up next will be Wyatt Kemp, Jaron Dawkins, Ethan Meyer, and Brandon Clark off and rolling now. Row 35. Up next will be row 36 will be Josh Adams, Justin Isaac, Jonathan Crianbo, and Travis McConaughey. That's row 36 getting ready to roll right now. Colby Clark, Levi Myers, Josh Turner, Tanner Green, Brian Williams off and rolling. And that was McConaughey and the boys. Now this will be row 37. Brent Baker, Grant Barna, Curtis Tarman, and Nathan Burkholder. Yes, row 37 set to roll next. Still waiting for the all systems go. Up next, 38, Travis Mathias, Joseph Murphy, Neil Tolston, and Dylan Holloway, Junior B22 plus class. And our last riders to take off here, I believe, is going to be the 321 Junior B22 plus class ride of David Kite. Off and rolling now. And that is your Snowshoe GNCC start here for this now 2:30 start time in the afternoon. Rains have subsided as we saw some sprinkles starting at the beginning of this start. Well, it quickly went away as quick as it came, and that's good news, especially for those riders and the trail crew that's going to have to try to keep up with them today, because wow, what a challenge these riders have set out for them. America's new toughest race. It's right here. It's the AMSOIL Snowshoe GNCC, and we'll be back with more here from Snowshoe Mountain Resort right after this on GNCC Live.
Yeah, last round came off with a second XC2 and 10th overall, and we've been kind of landing there a lot this year, and really got a monkey on our back, to get a win, and we know we can do it, and it's all up to me. You just got to do it.
right, Walker, man, coming off that, the monkeys off the back. You got the 50th win finally.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we don't have to worry about talking about it. I know everyone else is probably about over talking about it too, but no, it's an awesome achievement. Just an incredible, career accomplishment. So it was really cool. It was a race to remember for sure. You know, it wasn't a walkaway by any stretch of the imagination. Bryson Neal and Cole Richardson made the day just hell on me. But like I said, it makes it that much more memorable. And man, I have a feeling that a lot of these races are going to keep going that way.
My favorite thing about Snowshoe is pulling in and knowing my rig's not going to get stuck. That's honestly my favorite thing. Also, I don't drink beer. Also, the pizza is very good. Like, I don't know what it is, even though it's a $20 pizza for like 4 pieces. There's just something about it. It just makes you want to buy more, and it just doesn't make sense. Least favorite is knowing that my quad will be destroyed after the race tomorrow. My mechanic does not like this place. I'm sitting on some 22 rear GBCs. We got some good hookup for tomorrow. Hopefully with some fresh edge and I'll get some groove in these, we'll hook up on the slippery rocks.
The last 2 races we ended up second. I mean, I don't really have anything dead set. I mean, obviously it'd be nice to get the win. I mean, we was 2 seconds off the last 2 rounds, and there's just a little piece missing somewhere, and just got to figure that little piece out, and hopefully the cards play in our favor. But if there's anywhere I'd want to get a win, it'd definitely be Snowshoe.
Yeah.
Consistent clutch fuel is vital to effective starts or to confidently maneuver around obstacles on the trail. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil was subjected to an extreme simulated start test. After 32 simulated race starts, AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil continued to deliver consistent clutch feel, and the clutch plates remained clean with no visible wear. The competitor's oil, however, allowed discoloration and significant wear after just 16 starts. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil. Give your bike the protection it needs.
What is your passion? Hitting the perfect line, finding the perfect trail, routing the perfect adventure, or just living and breathing the moto life? Do you feel pride for a job well done after tackling a late night in the shop? Do you enjoy time spent with friends and family in the great outdoors? Spanning over 3 decades, one name has taken the lead for supplying the best powersport parts, accessories, and apparel to fuel your passion. One name that knows it goes beyond getting you the best prices, quickest shipping, or largest selection. One name that builds and innovates for our industry. One name that teaches, helps, and supports our fellow riders, racers, and organizations. We are Rocky Mountain ATV MC. We have transformed a team of moto enthusiasts into a powerful teaching team to ensure that you make the best purchasing decision with your hard-earned cash. We build communities with fellow riders to provide you with all you need to make a good decision. See customer photos, reviews, Q&As, and more while you're on our easy-to-use website. Need help fast? Live chat with our specialists, email, or drop us a line. Visit us today and experience the best in OEM and aftermarket parts, accessories, apparel, and industry-leading information. We offer lightning quick shipping, free on orders over $75, a huge inventory, free apparel exchanges both ways, and customer service that leaves all others behind. Experience one name that leads all others. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Becca Sheets. In 2 weeks, at Snowshoe, there will be the GNCC University. I'll be
all-new Yamaha Wolverine X2. with a compact chassis perfect for exploring tight technical terrain. An ultra-quiet and smooth 850 class twin-cylinder engine. And next-level versatility with a 600-pound dumping cargo bed. No other side-by-side delivers this level of proven off-road performance. The all-new Wolverine X2 from Yamaha.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Specialized Turbo e-bikes, it's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And welcome back to GNCC Live, and yes, we are here at Snowshoe Mountain Resort. We're picking up the action here and got some great racing going on, and that looks like a couple of our XC1 riders checking in with us right now. That don't even look like Snowshoe, to be honest with you. That looks like a field race someplace, and that must be up over by the airport, if I'm thinking. And that's one of the only areas that you're going to find like that here at Snowshoe Mountain Resort. And if you look on the side of that, yeah, that is an airport. It's obviously been kind of somewhat abandoned, and it's a grass runway, I guess, so to speak. But we utilize this for race course purposes, as well as GNCC University. Our friends from Yamaha, Johnny Gallagher, Randy Hawkins, and all the folks were over there yesterday with the ATVs, and like Friday and Thursday and even on Wednesday, giving them some instruction and so forth. So you can see some other parts of the race course that may or may not be incorporated into the actual track today, and you wonder what that's all about. You say, that looks like fresh course. Well, that's actual university trail that they were learning to do off cambers and hill climbs and to maneuver through rocks and different things like that on that section of the course itself. Welcoming you out again is round 8 of America's Premier Off-Road Racing Championship. Rodney Tomlin along with Mikey Waynes. Now, Mikey's on his way down to the infamous Howard's Hole as he is going to give us a bird's eye view and update after update after update of all the exciting antics that will be taking place down there from a racing standpoint and from, I think, a race fan standpoint, because as much as anything, the racing is part of the spectacle down there, but the race fans are as much a spectacle as anything as well. If you're wondering what's going on here at Snowshoe, boy, we've had a great weekend so far. Last night, the Stickers, a great band coming in last night. I don't know if you've ever heard, they got some, they wrote some really great songs. They got some stuff playing on the radio, some stuff in movies and things. But wow, what a great performing band there we had last night. Want to thank those guys in Snowshoe for helping set that up and make sure that took place here inside the village last evening. And looking forward to the Davison Brothers coming up tonight. The Davison Brothers band to be performing about 8:45. We've got graduation, commencement ceremonies. We've got chapel services. We've got round 5 of the EMTB GNCC racing that is going to be taking place this evening as well. And that's just part of it. There's Yamaha demo rides going on. There's Specialized demo rides going on. There's Fantic demo rides going on. You name it. There's lots of things. And there's what you're watching on RacerTV.com right now. That is the racing action that most of us have made our way here to the mountain for, while others may be here for the party and that this particular racing brings. Many others are here for just exactly this race. We'll get you up to date with what's going on right now.
I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20, 30, 25 minutes or so into our racing action. We've got an east side and a west side, and according to course description, I believe it is the east side is a little longer than the west side, and the west side does, I won't say throw a little more challenges at them, but what I will say is there are challenges on the west side as well as there are challenges on the east side. The east side, obviously, it's Howard's Hole that everyone talks about each and every year here at the Snowshoe GNCC. And is it a muddy race? Yes, you can tell as these machines are making their way out of the mountains and across this airport region. There are some low-lying areas that have held water. There are a lot of rocks out there, so maybe not having to deal with as much deep mud as what some may be thinking as when you think about the conditions leading in from this week with the rain, the amounts of rain in the weeks leading into just Friday alone, plus the rains that fell on Friday, the rains that fell on Thursday evening. Didn't seem to stop the crowd any whatsoever. They're all out in full force, and they're all out to have a great time here at this 13th running of the AMSOIL Snowshoe GNCC. Hard to believe as we look out over these beautiful mountains. It is the second day of summer on the calendar officially. And with that, it brings to me to think that, shorts and there we are, Howard's Hole, and we got a guest coming in here in a second, but there's Walker Fowler making his way through Howard's Hole. Missed that second place. I believe that is Chris Borch now making his way through. And look at the crowd down there. The red, white, and blue hats, the American flags. We got some really patriotic race fans, mud fleas, if you will. And I'll tell you, if you went down and you scouted this hole out, this mud hole, chances are it doesn't matter because the fans are going to determine where they want you to go down here in this particular race. As wow, this is just blowing me away. I love it. There we see some of the riders. This is what we're calling the Monster Mile here this week. And look, not only is it hard to traverse for the ATV riders themselves, but the race fans are having fun, are having a tough time and fun trying to get through some of these rocks. But the great thing about it is, as challenging as this section of the course is, race fans getting down and they're grabbing a hold of those ATVs and they're helping pull them through these sections of the race course. And wow, this is probably one of the gnarliest ones that you're going to bear witness to here in 2019, and whether the conditions are dry and dusty here or whether they're wet and muddy, this particular spot on the racetrack always offers up this exact atmosphere that we're seeing down here right now. Not only party, but a lot of mud, a lot of challenges and things that it has obviously thrown before the riders out there. And there's riders trying to utilize alternate lines. I don't know if the crowd likes that so much or not, but look at that. They're trying to help them get them through, but some riders electing to use different lines that look like maybe things might go a little smoother for them, and then all of a sudden, someone said car-sized rocks. Car-sized rocks down there. It just blows me away that how big the rocks have gotten over the years. Well, the rocks are the same size. It's just how much of them have gotten uncovered over the years of racing at. Well, this is the 13th year that we've gone through there, so that ought to tell you that with these ATVs, the motorcycles that will be going through there on Sunday, it's certain. There's Drew Landers I see from the XC2 class. I don't know how far back he is in that class, but looks like a lot of different riders in both the XC1 and the XC2 classes have both came through this particular part of the racetrack. I'm just sitting here. I'm becoming a fan. Honestly, I shut up all of a sudden, but the reason is because I'm watching. I'm scoping this crowd out, seeing what's going on. There's more riders. That's I believe one of our college A riders making his way by now. And look at the no face helmet. It looked like he was actually running an open face helmet through there on an ATV. That's something that you don't see a whole lot of very often. It's only the old school guys that do that, right? I still wear an open face helmet whenever I ride. I like it better that way myself personally, but that's because I like to use a microphone whenever I'm riding. Makes it a lot easier.
More of the, it doesn't look too overbearing, to be honest with you. Dick, come on over here and grab yourself a headset, man. You might as well be giving us some input and insight as to what's taking place here. Oh, okay, here we go. Is that not turning off now? What's going on here? Check, check, check. Yep. All right. Yeah, it is. Let's see, try that one more time. Let's see if we got the right headset for you. No, here, this is the one that we got for you. I think that's what's going on. I keep turning the wrong buttons and stuff, I guess. So let's try it. All right, Dick is here with us, and of course, Moose Racing representative in the house. And with that, we see a lot of great moose gear being utilized down here at Howard's Hole as we see riders checking in. And, well, as an 8-time national enduro champion yourself, you got to tell me that you've seen situations similar to this on two wheels before in your life, right?
Oh yeah, you know, this is classic. GNCC in the mud, in the rocks, like we used to do in the Blackwater, and no matter what the weather is, it's going to be muddy and it's going to be a big crowd down at Howard's Hole. It doesn't look like it's real wet. We've had wetter years, but
yeah, and as much rain as we've had, I'm really surprised that it's not any wetter. But a lot of people were telling me that the rain was actually rolling through there. It was kind of like a stream that rolled through, so the water maybe not really collecting and holding up so much there. By the way, introducing to Dick Burleson is the 8-time national enduro champion. For some reason, I always think that everybody knows who I'm talking to whenever I'm talking to you, but it just dawned on me, no, they don't. But Dick, here we are, 8-time national enduro champ, Moose Racing representative, watching the GNCC. We got this guy right here, LW, Landon Wolf, making his way in. Landon, congratulations to you, by the way, my friend, on your big win here earlier today in that 4x4 Pro class. You guys didn't have to go through this, from what I understand, though, right?
No, we didn't have to go through this down here, but I tell you, Howard's Hole looks pretty gnarly this year, and like you were just saying, I don't know that it's quite as wet as it has been in years past, and I think it is because we may have gotten a good bit of rain and the water has actually washed a lot of the stuff down the mountain.
Right.
But as you can see, I mean, that's not stopping people from getting stuck out here, and
the rocks are growing a lot bigger, though.
Yeah,
rocks are growing a lot bigger.
And that's funny. That's funny you say that, because there's just a lot of rock gardens out there, a lot of flat tires, stuff like that. So you still got to be pretty cautious when you're going through these sections. You don't want to suck water. You don't want to get a flat tire this early on in the race. And as you can see, this guy looks like he's got something wrong with his bike already. But I mean, even though we say it may not be as wet as it has been in years past, and then we look at the screen here and you're like, how could it get much worse?
I guess it depends on your perspective of it all, though. It's, we look down, we see that there is the mud, we see that there's been a lot of rain, but again, it is a mountain, so a lot of that rain and water might have washed away very quickly.
Right.
Hey, just to give you an idea, we do have first lap racing complete on the east side, 22 minutes and 55 seconds. What was your fast lap time over there, Landon?
I wish I could tell you. I have no clue.
Of course, the morning class didn't do the Howard's Hole thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, so we all have different.
That's
different
right.
lap
And with
Right.
this, with the Howard's Hole, Walker Fowler turns a 22:55. Adam McGill just 5.4 seconds back in the number 2 spot with a 23-minute lap time flat. Chris Borch in the number 3 spot, only 3 seconds behind Adam McGill. Jared McClure is 4th, looking at about a 15-second gap there. The Coltrane now 2.5 seconds behind him. Hunter Hart, the rookie, in 6th place. Bryson Neal all the way back in 7th. Marty Christopherson, the New Yorker, in 8th. Johnny G, the number 12, is 9th, and Greg Covert rounds out your top 10. Just looking at, and this is after time adjustments and everything have been made, looking from the front of the racetrack to the, for first place to 10th place right now, we have about 1 minute and 42 seconds that separate the top 10. So, wow.
So really spread out already.
Walker.
I mean, that's pretty impressive of a gap for the first lap. I know those first couple guys are pretty close. We got 5 seconds, 3 seconds, and then to a 14-second, which is even a lot for, I think it's maybe 8.5 miles over there.
Yeah.
So, now, and it's sections like this that really separate them. But I was just looking here. We have a lot of really heavy hitters up front there.
Actually, I'm taking that back. I miscalculated that. No, I didn't. I was right. Never mind.
Yeah, so you got a minute anyway, right?
About a minute, 30 or
But we got a lot of heavy hitters. I mean, you got Fowler and McGill, and they battle back and forth trying to claim the mountain to their last name. So is this Fowler Mountain? Is it McGill Mountain? But in all reality,
Johnny Gallagher,
any of these guys.
and Johnny Gallagher, while you were out on the track, he staked the claim today that I think it was 09 or so that he was real close to winning this. Maybe it was 07. He was within adjusted time. I mean, he was leading this one for a big part of the day and only came up a few seconds short at the end of it. But he said, if I win this one, he says, I am renaming this mountain and it's reclaiming the name of Snowshoe Mountain. I am not calling it McGill Mountain anymore.
Oh man, that's funny.
That was funny. I felt some animosity there. I think Johnny wants a mountain named after him or something like that.
I think he does. I mean, and don't we all, really? So I can't hardly blame him. But especially a mountain as gorgeous as this one. I mean, this is just such a prestige event. It's totally cool that Snowshoe allows us to come back and do this in their woods. But no, it just makes for a really great racetrack.
So looking at the screen here, I was over at our new semi-truck, and there's like nobody around, and I'm like, where is everybody? Because this race brings a whole lot of spectators in, you know. They're all down at the home. That's where everybody, I mean, it's like wall-to-wall people as far as you can see.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And Howard's Hole, I mean, we have the camera here in this one spot, but Howard's Hole is actually, it's got to be a half a mile long of this stuff. I mean, it's real gnarly in this one section, but this is not Howard's Hole in entirety. It's a good long stretch of just mud holes and mess.
Right. Is this the worst part of Howard's Hole right here, you think?
It's part of it.
Yeah, this is Howard's Hole, yeah.
I mean, is it the worst part of it?
No. I do not think so. No,
this looks like your four-wheel drive would do a lot better than
exactly. Yes.
This stuff, you know.
Now there's actually some new sections that Bolton and Eccles were able to throw in this weekend, and it looks nothing like this. It's a pine tree area with really, really soft ground, and it's incredible how much we exposed the roots today. So I think that's actually going to be the toughest part of the racetrack. But there's a lot of tough parts out here.
Well, since I'm riding tomorrow morning on a motorcycle, thanks for exposing all those roots.
I apologize in advance because they are going to be slick.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at this top 20 overall right now, and you know we've seen a.
Here they come up up the mountain. This is coming up the west side now. They're heading into the pro pits. Look like Walker Fowler has pulled out a little bit of a lead. He's got to have, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds probably. Heading up this power line. This should bring them right down into the pro pits. So those guys down there should be expecting Walker Fowler any second now.
That is the FMF PowerPoint, by the way, and this FMF PowerPoint has become quite a tradition. So someone asked me yesterday about the big hill climb. Do they go here? Do they go there? I said, hey, it happens differently every year.
Yeah.
Today it looks like we got basically a one-line trail up the hill right now.
It'll open up. I imagine it'll open up by the end. But we had McGill and Borch there, second and third. They were together. McClure was in fourth, and then I think it was Cole Richardson right there behind him. That looks like B. Neal, Bryson Neal himself.
Did he get around?
Looks like he might have had a little bit of a slow start, but I'm sure he will begin to make things happen. One thing to point out, Bryson Neal and Cole Richardson have both been inches away from wins these last few races. Bryson Neal actually captured one, but I know Cole's really hunting for that win, first win of the year, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be.
So there comes Adam McGill, I'm sorry, in the pro pits.
Well, Adam seems to be A-okay in that number 2 position. Chris Borch seems to be comfortable in the number 3 spot. The only thing is Walker Fowler, like you said, starting to stretch this out 10 seconds at least, maybe pushing close to 15. And once he gets in this position, it's usually checkout time. But I gotta wonder here in these conditions in the mountains of West Virginia. We know that if you go too hard, you risk the it's a gamble. It is.
Yeah, it really is a gamble. And I talked to Walker a little bit yesterday, actually, about how the season's going, what he's been thinking, and his exact words, man, just give us a dry race. I just want a dry race. So, and like you say, normally this is not the place that you check out with. I know last year Borch and McClure battled to the very last corner for the win.
Yeah.
Just the conditions here don't really call for it. Looks like that might have been Kevin Yoho on screen. I could be wrong, but
yeah, Yoho, a former XC1 rider, actually riding in the Bet A30 Plus class. If I'm not mistaken,
13th overall.
Yeah, I think he might be a top 20 overall in the standings, if I'm not mistaken. And if that's the case, that he got a really
he is top 20 because he was in the 4th line, so he's in between 15 and 20 overall.
Yeah, so and he gets a good start with that. You know, the one rider that I am a little shocked that we didn't see be able to capitalize with such a great starting position out there is the first place ride there in that XC2 class.
Glada.
Yeah, John Glada.
Yeah.
I don't even see him in the top 20 right now.
No, I don't. Can we click on XC2 here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and click on the XC2, see what did happen possibly to.
XC2 is not showing up. Oh, yeah, it is. Right there.
Oh, okay. Must be a different order. All right. Let's see. We got, as far as XC2, if you're wondering, we're not just going to look and try to find that one name. We'll let you know how it's looking right now. Ben Kowalewski out of Great Bend, Pennsylvania, with an 8.7 second lead now over Wyatt Wilkin out of Hillsboro, Ohio, the 621. 82 of Jordan Poplansky out of Shamokin, Pennsylvania. Tanner Walker, the 22 from Berlin, PA, is 4th. Drew Landers from Monterey, Tennessee, rounds out the top 5. And then in 6th place, Ronnie Rush aboard the 714. 7th, Matt Blankenship aboard the 127. It is the 27 of Steve Covert in 8th place. 9th place, Kenny Schick. The 191 and the 712 of John Glada Jr. rounds out your top 10 there in the XC2 Pro-Am class. So, wow, big road to hoe for him, it looks like.
He's got some time to make up. Oh, there is the, I was looking at the computer screen. The leaders are all coming through. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is not the leaders. My bad. False alarm. Yeah.
Well,
those are some of the guys coming through on their first lap still. The leaders should be showing up.
And the laps is going to turn into a huge deal here in this next lap, they're going to get into traffic.
Yeah. So bottleneck. There's the leaders there. There's Walker Fowler coming through, which. Technically, he completed one full lap, but he is 2 laps deep now because we have 2 different laps on each side of the mountain.
12 minutes, 19 seconds is what we're looking at. So 12:20 basically for Walker Fowler on the west side of the mountain. And now there is Adam McGill checking in. We see that gap going from a second or two to now nearly 17 seconds, 16.959 seconds between first and second. Second and the third, looking at a 4.3 second gap between McGill and Borch. And right now, Borch has got to be thinking, Adam, if you don't pick it up and get up there with Walker and get him back in sight, both these boys are going to start losing their chances of maybe winning this one today.
Yep, here comes another big hitter, Bryson Neal rolling in. I know he's going to be pushing towards the front. Another one I definitely took note is Jared McClure. Always seems to get himself caught in a blank spot of the riders. You know, he seems to be riding a lot of the races here recently alone. He needs to close that little bit of a gap up to Borch and McGill and work with them to chase down Fowler, no doubt.
Well, here's the thing about it. That puts McClure in a little better position if he does that, because didn't he start on row 2, if I'm not mistaken?
Oh, he did start on row 2.
So right now, Jared McClure on time adjustment, though he is behind Chris Borch and basically caught up to him.
He has a 10-second, whatever you call that.
Advantage. Well, it would seem anyway, once he catches up with him, the time adjustments there. So McClure turned a 12:27 lap time to a 12:31 lap time for Chris Borch. So that put Jared McClure into 3rd place overall after time adjustments. Let's see what other adjustments may be made as Cole Richardson runs in the number 5 spot. Bryson Neal is 6th. Hunter Hart in 7th. And waiting on that 8th place ride. There's Johnny Gallagher in now with Marty Christopherson still waiting on the number 7 machine. He does check in, but time adjustment puts him back out ahead of Johnny Gallagher, which drops Gallagher now off to the number 9 position.
Yeah, so take note of what we were just talking about. Jared McClure is actually in the number 3 spot. However, he is behind Chris. He has that 10-second advantage on Chris, so on time adjustment, which I was talking to a couple guys this morning. Everybody wants to be in the second second row or even the third row, because you don't have to finish in front of them. You just have to follow them through the finish line, and Jared's in a really good position for that right now.
Point to ponder here is that on-time adjustment right now, Jared McClure is only 20 seconds off pace of Walker Fowler as we take a look at the adjusted times. 35:15 elapsed time for Walker Fowler and a 35:35 for Jared McClure. So 20 seconds, and wow, man, I mean, if he can, like you say, if he can latch on, and we see how these guys go. Sometimes they work up, they latch on to somebody, they move a little further ahead, and if he gets him in sight, then all of a sudden Jared McClure is going to be in control of this race, I believe.
Yeah, so this here is what they're going to be running into come the end of this lap that they're on, and this is where not for sure obviously, but this is where Walker's 30-second lead or 20-second lead gets gone like that, like no time. So this is the reason he tries to get that little bit of a gap, so maybe he can snake through before this happens. And Jared, I think right now is in the best spot on the racetrack. All he has to do is close that gap onto Walker, and he's in the driver's seat at that point.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, McClure is when did he win here? 2 years ago or something like that?
I was actually just reading. I saw he won here in I think it was 13, which that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's been a while back. Then I was thinking it was a little more.
It may have been. I think I saw he won.
Hey,
in 13.
My old mind, everything seems like yesterday for me. So let's not rely on me and those skills, that's for sure. But nonetheless, watching this one, Fowler, McGill, McClure, Borich, Richardson are your top 5. Bryson Neal, man on a move. Taking a look at lap times, he did turn a 12:29, so he's not really any faster than anybody up front. The only one that is faster than a 12:20 lap time right now is Walker Fowler. Everyone else about 12:25 or above, actually a 12:27 or above. So Walker's already picked up a pretty good, phenomenal pace, one that is showing why we saw that gap starting to open up in only 12 minutes and 19 seconds. We get on this longer side of the mountain, he keeps this. We're going to see just how much faster he is riding than everyone else. But like you said, maybe that Howard's whole thing might be the great equalizer out there that will catch everyone back up.
And there's a lot more of those spots.
There's a lot of those out there, and again, that's the entrance to the pits. That's exit to the pro pits, right?
Yeah, close to it. You go up that hill, run just a little wood section, head into the pits, and then kind of the same thing to get back out.
Okay, and so that's kind of the exit, and then they work their way back over toward the finish line, I guess, if they're coming out of that area of the.
So another thing to note, I just saw number 1, our top amateur, I believe, is Yoho. Am I right? Yes.
Yeah.
So that would he's actually leading XC2. Kevin Yoho is in front of all the XC2 riders right now.
And he's a vet A30 plus class.
Yes. Right? Yes. So which I kind of figured that out of him. I know Kevin's really good in these conditions and whatnot. So our top what is it? 13. 12 or 13 are XC1 riders, which is also a little odd. Normally we have either an XC2 rider or a Vet A rider like Pickens or Yoho or somebody like that even jumps into the top 10 on the first laps.
And you would think that would be more prevalent here at Snowshoe, the way the start rows and things work out there. So I'm kind of shocked, like you, I think, that we're not seeing a little more challenges coming out of those guys from the XC2 class. But those riders that are up front, man, they've got themselves a good battle going on. There's no doubt. And basically, pull yourself up a chair, sit back, and relax, because these guys are going to be playing a very, I think,
strategic game.
Yes, exactly. Strategic game of chess, kind of, so to speak, out here. I mean, who's going to get their queens checkmated out here? I don't know, man. It's wow.
We're going to see a lot of that too. That guy's skid plates dragging in the back the whole way down. I mean, these trails out here, I mean, it's Snowshoe Mountain. It's what everybody expects, but they're brutal. They're brutal on equipment, and they're brutal to race through. So it's not all about who can go the fastest. It's all about who can can go the fastest while keeping their bike together.
Now, one thing that I talked to a lot of the different pro riders today, and traditionally, even in these conditions, oftentimes the pro riders, the XC1 guys, don't like to go and use the big tires. However, I think everybody I talked to today are going to be using tires. Even riders that's only used them 1 or 2 times throughout their entire career.
Yeah, with as big as these rocks are out here, they go up in tire size, and I think Chris Borch was the only one to do it last year, and he won. So I think everybody wrote that down in their notebook and remembered it for this year, because I walked down Pro Row just before they all started heading to the starting line, and I would say 9 out of 10 of the bikes had big tires on. So
yeah. Well, Walker Fowler, I think he might have even said, "I've never ran big tires before."
I don't know that he's ever raced in them.
Yeah,
no,
right. Race.
No.
If I could be mistaken, but I think that he said, "I've never raced it with the big tires," and that's all I brought this weekend.
Yeah. So, well, at least he made his mind up early. He didn't have to think about when he got here.
Yeah, that's for sure. So he's stuck with that regardless of whether he wants it or not.
It seems to be working out okay as of right now.
Yeah, I don't think it would matter one way or the other, honestly. I think either choice for the rider is a good one, but I personally think the bigger tires would get you over and through the mud holes and the rocks and things like that a little bit more.
The only disadvantage with the big tires is some of these ski slopes, there's a couple ski slopes out there, not necessarily like this one. I don't even know if that's a ski slope, but anyway, a couple of ski slopes, it's a long haul to the top, fast, a couple corners in it to mix it up. Big tires slow you down just a little bit in those conditions.
Now,
so
do people change gearing whenever they change to big tires sometimes?
I know a lot of people have talked about it, because obviously a bigger tire does change the way the bike is geared. So I don't know. I would imagine there's a few guys out there that are a bit more picky about stuff like that have changed the gearing to try and match the gearing to what it feels like with the little tires, just with more ground clearance.
Rightio, and right now, let's see, we have, a 22-minute lap time on the other side of the mountain.
Yes.
I'm thinking we're probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 10 minutes out from seeing the leaders finish lap 3, which would be the second lap on the east side of the mountain. Walker Fowler at last check was still leading. McGill, McClure, Borich, and Cole Richardson, your top 5. Bryson Neal in 6th, Hunter Hart in 7th, Greg Covert 8th, Marty Christopherson 9th, Johnny Gallagher in 10th. A little further back now, Josh Merritt in 11th place. Imagine that. He said today, I just can't seem to shake that number 11. He's in 11th place points. He's been running the number 11 for the last 11 years? Or no, actually,
2 years? I think he's had number 11. He was number 10 3 years ago, and then dropped back to number 11. So, and I think as of right now, he is 11th in points. So we're gonna need to make some moves and get him off of that number 11.
And the funny
preferably down in numbers.
Yeah, down in numbers, up in positions.
Right.
That's for sure. But and I've seen some good, consistent rides, and what seems to be more effort, I think, out of Josh than in the last couple of years. And even with progressing, he still seems to not be able to move ahead. I mean, when it looks like that, you look at it on paper, you watch him, you think, oh wow, man, this all should be adding up in his favor. But point-wise, it's not right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know he's really putting in the work. Him and Glauda have teamed up. I know Merritt's staying down with Glauda all the time right now. And I know they do a lot of riding, they do a lot of training, but man, and it's really showed for Glauda. I mean, he's been undefeated so far. He's got a little bit of a slow start today, but we got a long race to go.
Yeah, don't count him out.
But there's XC1 guys. I mean, it's a whole another level that those guys are on. I mean, I know those top 10 pour their heart and soul into this racing, and they do a lot of work. So even though you're doing a lot of work, it doesn't mean it's even as much as the other guys. You just never know how much effort everybody else is putting in as well. So
exactly,
it's a tough game. I mean, these guys are top-notch athletes, and it's not easy to be better than the next guy.
No, it's not. It's
oh, hey guys, what's going on? We're down here at Howard Toll with these crazy people, and guys, I don't think they can hear you in there. What's your favorite part about being here at Howard Toll?
Hanging out with Mikey Wayne. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea. All right, guys, I'm going to see if I can catch any racing action or maybe some sort of disease here in West Virginia.
Oh, no. That's what we've been waiting on. I was just getting ready to say that. I was getting ready to say we should be hearing from Mikey Waynes here pretty soon, and all of a sudden, hey, guys!
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, we'll be getting some reports from down there. Now, that's how long it's taken Mikey to get down there. That's what the crowd is like, just to get to where the TV shots and stuff like that are. That tells you what the crowd is like down here now.
Most everybody's down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're not down there, they're on their way down or coming back from there. So traffic is a real nightmare right now.
Well, like you said earlier, I mean, you look around up here, up on top of the mountain, at this very time while they're racing, this place seems kind of empty. Because, I mean, you look, I mean, there they all are. They're all down there, and it's...
if you're selling hot dogs, that's where you want to be right now.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine how many hot dogs would be sold if they had them down there?
Surprised they probably do, to be honest with you.
I'm not going to lie. There was a time they had a grill down there. Somebody hoisted a grill down there. I mean, it's brilliant.
That is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
You know, another rider I wanted to talk about while we're watching some of this and not seeing any real true racing action on the screen, and then we'll go and check in with some of these amateur classes here shortly. But I want to talk a little bit more in depthly about Kevin Yoho. We kind of breezed over that. Kevin is a former XC1 Pro class racer. And he kind of backed out of it and started dabbling into the XC2 Pro-Am class a couple of years ago. A hit and miss here, a hit race there, or a miss race there, whatever the case may be. And, well, this past season, I guess this off-season, he thought, well, I'm going to go to the Vet 30-plus class because he saw that great racing action going on between Big Papa P and there's Walker Fowler out at the airport. And he is flying, my friends, and flying solo right now, it looks like.
Yeah, he sure is. We're going to try and put a timer on him, 25 seconds there at that Maxxis banner. This out here is where the GNCC University actually went down the past, I guess, 3 days it was, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and holy cow, does it look like Walker's got a lead.
Wow, that's 15 seconds right there already. We're looking at, there's 20 seconds, and we haven't even seen anyone in vision just yet.
Another thing to notice, doesn't look like they're into lappers at all yet. I mean, we don't see one other rider there, so really got a big gap. Adam's giving Chris the old wave. They're waving to each other. Let's get it going, boys. Looks like we are right at 45 seconds.
Just go.
45 seconds of a lead that Walker has over Adam McGill. Not saying that it's over. Looks like another thing, Adam McGill, Chris Borch are still running together. Not too far behind him is Jared McClure. And this looks like Bryson Neal.
Wow, that's pretty impressive for Bryson Neal. As we're looking.
Did we miss Cole? Or I don't think we did.
So what was the time that we saw there? I was talking with our producer.
45 seconds from Walker back to Adam McGill. And this here is Cole. So Cole has dropped back behind Bryson, but still is within striking distance of him.
Wow, that is just a flat field section, and that right there looks to be kind of challenging for those riders. I mean, it wasn't necessarily overly challenging, but does it have? It's
sticky.
Oh, okay, that makes, and it's starting to develop braking and acceleration bumps too. Isn't it?
Yeah, and the funny part is actually just out of our camera shot here, just where they're going past the camera, they drop down into the woods, and it's a long downhill, and I swear, I don't know, it's not even that cold, but I'm pretty sure that downhill is ice because there's no stopping. So, but no, I mean, I think the worst part is you come ripping across that field, fifth gear tapped, and then you drop down a downhill that is made of ice and can create for hairy situations. But these guys got it under control. But holy cow, what a gap from Cole back to what, 6th place that would be?
Yeah.
7th place.
Yeah, I guess that would be 7th place now. That'd be what, Hunter Hart now?
Hunter Hart should be next, and that looks like his riding style right there.
He's looking back behind him. I don't think he sees anybody back there right now.
He don't see anybody behind him or in front of him. That's just he's just in a big open area right now. So there must be some pretty gnarly sections out there that's separating these guys as much as they are.
Wow, and even more so than what you guys saw, maybe getting separated in the morning this morning?
At this rate, yeah. I mean, we weren't even that separated. Looks like Marty Christopherson coming through the airport right now is dragging a skid plate, so I don't know if somebody wants to get a zip tie for that thing.
Yeah, that'll definitely might be something that you want to do to.
Yeah, this here looks like Josh Merritt, I believe, but I could have been wrong. I think it was, and then this one here.
Wow, that would put him up a couple of spots.
Yeah, I think he did get around Johnny. Man, it's hard to tell. That looks like Greg Covert there.
Well, he would have gotten around Greg Covert.
That looks like Johnny, and that looks like Kevin Yoho right there. So
wow, Kevin Yoho physically right there in the mix of things. That will put him a little further. I would say that he is now probably top 10. If that was Kevin Yoho going through there, that should probably put us in a top 10 scenario there.
Yeah, I would say so. Assuming that was Kevin Yoho that I saw. You can see it's funny how this mountain works. I mean, coming through that corner there, it's like ice, and then they jump out in the field and it's so sticky. But I tell you what, I am struggling a little bit to figure out who these guys are.
Yeah, numbers are hard to read.
That looks like Drew Landers there. Is he in second?
No, Drew was actually, well, he may be at the second by now, but he was all the way back at 5th place when we checked on him there a few minutes ago. But when you take a look at it, he was only 15 seconds out of first place, so it's a possibility that we do see Drew up there into that position. And if that's the case, good news for him. I think he's still in search of his first win so far.
I believe so. Yeah, I don't think he's captured that first XC2
John
win
Glada
yet.
has just been a major force to reckon with.
He's
I mean, every time it looks like Drew's got it in the bag, John comes from out of nowhere.
I know. Well, I think it was even Tomahawk. Glada didn't have a very good start. Kind of came from the back and really put the hammer down. That's not. Oh, that is them, isn't it? That's Walker. It's a pink sticker on the back of his helmet, so it's got to be him. Looks like Walker Fowler is coming through Howard's Hole right now. And we will wait approximately 45 seconds. Should be Adam McGill, followed closely by Chris Borch. And so it looks like they haven't quite gotten into lappers just yet. So maybe we're gonna figure the next lap for sure.
It's about working on 52 minutes into this race already, and as uneventful as it has seemed to be, a lot of things I think taking place already, and I think the biggest indications of that is seeing how far that Walker's been able to stretch things out and how things have changed back there from about 3rd place on back and how it's kind of stretching out.
Oh no! Oh, McGill! Did these guys catch that?
Here you go! There he is right there! Get your sub! So Adam McGill come through. We just missed Walker Fowler a second ago. Chris Borch making quick work of it.
Oh no.
And now the Mud Fleas go to work. And now Bryson Neal making his way through Howard's Hole down here. I don't know if you guys can hear me. If you can, wonderful. If not, I'm having the time of my life.
That looks like Adam McGill behind him almost. But Adam shaved his beard. He's got it trimmed way down.
And I will say, these XC1 guys not really having much of a problem through here. Getting a little bit of help from the Mud Fleas, but generally speaking, they're making quick work of Howard's Hole.
You know, they look like they all closed up a little bit from when they...
Yeah, so that the 2nd to 5th place was all right in a row. So that was pretty cool. It looked like we had McGill, Borch, McClure, and Neal right in a row. So that's good news. Those 4 together could be a threat to Walker, but they're gonna need to get to work quick because with a 45-second lead with only 53 minutes into the race, that's trouble.
Yeah, and again, Jared McClure sitting the most pretty here, but Walker Fowler's got so much of a lead going on right now that it's going to be tough to get inside that time-on-time adjustment from where he's at right now. So Walker may be setting himself up for that win, and as hard as it may have been to get that little stretch out and that I guess that sprint that we just saw Walker do and stretch it out to 45 seconds, he found some time, some place to do it here in West Virginia.
The total time, it looks like they're going to do 4 laps.
Yeah, the way things are looking out there, it sure does. And right now we're going to bring in Nat Ross.
Yeah, I'm out too.
Okay. All right, so Dick's going to step out. Landon's going to step out for just a minute. We got Nat Ross, former EMTB or former mountain bike world champion in-house with us here. And it looks like we got one of the Bulls riders in-house with us. Christian Husband is here with us, it looks like. So, let's see which, you got that one. And, yeah, so you're on 2, Christian, and you're on that one there. Nat Ross and Christian Husband here with us. And Christian, welcome, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm Rodney. Nice to meet you. Pull that up a little bit closer. Where are you from?
I'm from Southern California, Corona specifically.
Oh, wow. So here you are. Welcome to wild, wonderful West Virginia, man.
I'm loving it so far.
So obviously you're a mountain bike individual. Have you ever been in the mountains of West Virginia?
No, never. This is my first time even over to this part of the country, honestly. Furthest I've been before this was Ohio. So
Really? Really? So what were you doing in Ohio?
My family was out there. So.
Okay, great. Well, you're a fellow Buckeye. Nice to have you out here.
Yeah.
But all the way from California, what brings you here to Snowshoe Mountain today?
So I'm out here with Bulls Bikes USA, Bulls Bikes e-bikes. We're racing the GNCC e-bike race.
Awesome. So this is going to be your first round of that?
Yeah, first GNCC ever.
So tell me a little bit about it. What are you guys hearing about that over in California? Is this something that's starting to pick up a lot of attention, I guess?
Yeah, we've been hearing a good amount of talk about how big the series was, how they have a lot of races. So we just decided to come out and do it.
And I see that you're representing the folks from Bulls. Is that the bicycle you ride there?
Yeah, Bulls Bikes. That's what I represent.
And I see they got a display set up. They're doing demo rides here this weekend?
Yeah, we have 2 tents, and we're doing demo rides all weekend, free demo rides.
That's awesome. And now, how long has Bulls been into the e-bike market? Is that something new for them?
Fairly new for North America. We've been in North America for just about 5 years now, breaking in with e-bikes, and we also have traditional bikes, actually.
Well, tell me about yourself. Are you like a world champion like Nat Ross here? Is there anything like that?
Oh, I wish. That's definitely a goal sometime in the future, but I'm just a under 23 professional mountain biker, trying to make my name in the sport.
Oh, he's making it, Rodney. He's the future.
Have you heard of Charlie Mullins yet?
I have, yeah. I've been seeing he's been doing pretty good in the GNCC races. So.
Yep. Can you beat Charlie Mullins?
I guess we're going to see today.
I love Charlie, but I want to see him have some competition, man.
Yeah, I hope I can give him some competition.
So far, ain't been nobody come out to be able to do it. Nat, maybe the first round or 2.
Oh, barely. But actually, Christian got a race with him at Sea Otter, but he doesn't remember because the whole shot that Charlie got continued, and he even brought a German teammate over, and they were both chasing Charlie all day in California and Monterey.
So you know all about Charlie, no doubt about it. Well, Christian, you're going to be racing your first EMTB GNCC race. Glad to have you on board with us, and I hope that you enjoy the GNCC racing, and hopefully we can call you a member of the GNCC Racing Nation real soon, my friend.
Oh, can't wait to be called a member.
All righty. I think that sounds, when you got that kind of heart, Nat, it happens, right?
True, Rodney.
Nat's already become a member, a interwoven fabric of the GNCC Racing Nation. And Nat, you're going to be racing today, I guess?
Yeah, I'm excited. This is my kind of course, so I told Charlie that, hey, I'll be a little closer to him today.
Oh, wow. This is going to be pretty exciting. Speaking of exciting, luckily you guys don't got to do that right there.
Thankfully.
Stick around and watch with me if you like. I'm going to catch some folks up with what's going on right now as we look at nearly 1 hour of racing into this race. Is that the 201 of Cody Collier? I think having some problems getting through. Walker Fowler has checked in with lap 3 complete. Now 58 seconds back is Adam McGill in second. Chris Borch running in that number 3 spot, 8.8 seconds back of him. Jared McClure is now 4th, and this is after time adjustment, so he must have ran into some sort of an issue out there that took him out of that time adjustment position of maybe challenging for the top spots there. Let's see, we got Bryson Neal back in the number 5 spot aboard the 4th machine. He's only a couple seconds behind McClure. Cole Richardson is 6th, Hunter Hart in 7th. Greg Tover in the 8th place position. 9th is Marty Christopherson. Rounding out the top 10 is Johnny Gallagher. And are you trying to check in with us there, Landon? Guess not. Must have been just a microphone check. But regardless, we got Got that working, it sounds like, and we got good things going on. Look at this. Josh Merritt has taken over the number 10 spot. I did not see that, but now that after some time adjustments have taken place, Josh Merritt is now 10th place, so he's finally breaking that 11 barrier and moving into the number 10 spot. Gallagher is 11th. Now we wait to see what happens back here behind them because Kevin Yoho just checked in. He is now 10th place overall. Let me double check that. Yep. That's it. Bet A 30-plus class leader Kevin Yoho is up to 10th place overall. Josh Merritt drops to 11th place overall. Johnny Gallagher in 12th. 13th is Jordan Poplansky. But we're going to wait on the rest of that top 20 because we still got a few riders yet to check in. If you're watching on RacerTV.com, we are watching the finish line region, and we've got 2 finish lines, one for the east side, one for the west side. That way, if someone happens to finish up after the leaders come through on one side, they don't have to go through that treacherous rest of that next lap. It makes it easier for the track crew to sweep. Just a whole lot of good reasons why we got 2 finish lines, and they all make sense whenever you talk about them and look at them on paper and everything. But so Nat, you've been around, Christian, you've been around mountain bike racing. Have you ever experienced anything like GNCC before in your life?
Similar things with nationals, but I mean the vibe here, the different type of vibe at a motocross event or ATV motocross event, I mean I think it's a lot different. I think it's awesome too.
Yeah, and you, I mean, I know you've been all around the world. Have you ever been to these types of races before GNCC?
Even Snowshoe, when you're in a mountain bike race, doesn't feel like a GNCC race does here. So you guys bring the spirit.
Oh, great. I'm glad to hear that. And I see a lot of tongues hanging out at the end of those things, too.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the season, when the first race or two was a lot shorter, I was thinking, I really want to try that. We went like a full hour last time, and at the end of that full hour, it's like, I don't know if I want to do that or not. No, actually, you could tell that a lot of the batteries and stuff were starting to get a little weaker and stuff, and folks, and a lot of changes in those last couple of laps of the EMTB GNCC. So, folks, if you come watch and you say, this is getting kind of, it looks like cut and dry. You see this, you see that. Wait till the last 3-4 laps. That's when things start to shake loose, isn't it?
Little strategy out there, and I tell you what, it is racing. So you get a little bit of everything, and it's power assist. So it's not necessarily like the bike's doing all the work for you.
Yeah, Nat, do me the favor and the honor of explaining, because I try to do it all the time, but explain to the folks at home that are watching here on Racer TV, to the fans that are here at the racetrack that are not familiar with a pedal assist bike, what exactly is that?
It's strictly assistant. So in the end, you're doing the pedaling, and Christian goes back and forth between e-bike racing in California, nationals coming up in Winter Park, and this will give him better skill sets and technical skills, but in the same effort, he's still putting forth the same amount of watts, the same amount of energy, burning the same calories and kilojoules on an e-bike as he does on a pedal bike. So the racing is just as intense. So a lot of folks say, oh, it's different, and sure, there's a couple fallacies of the differences, but you still put the pedal down and you're still racing the same way and you're going max effort.
No doubt. And again, get over to the Specialized display, over to the Gear Bicycle display, to the Bulls display. We've got the opportunity, the Yamaha display. They've got opportunities for you to try these pedal assist bikes. Choose the one that fits your needs and your skill set and your comfort zone the best. I mean, I've tried a few of them and I love them all. As we check in with Walker Fowler heading up the PowerPoint here, the FMF PowerPoint. It's, again, still all by himself with a 1 lead over the rest of the field out there. And I don't know if that's coming over the TV or not, but we got some crazy sounds coming over our public address system right now and over my earpiece. And I hope that we're still live over RacerTV.com, but regardless, we're going to treat it as though we are, just in case. Christian, thank you so very much. Nat, thank you. We're going to see you guys out there on the starting line at about 5:30, I guess it'll be this evening. All right, thank you. And I hope that I'll see all you folks here at Snowshoe out there joining us as well. So 3 laps down, as we told you. Kevin Yoho, the Vet A 30-plus class rider, is running top 10 overall, and that's pretty impressive to say the least. And as we continue to roll through this now 4th lap, I guess it would be, here comes what I believe is the rest of the XC1 class. And is this one still being led by the 521 I believe it is, of Adam McGill. So McGill Mafia making its way up. But look at this right behind him. We've got company coming in. Is that looked like for a moment possibly Chris Borge, but wow, that's making up some time. He was only 8 seconds back, so that would indicate that that's a possibility. Also, Bryson, Neal, Cole Richardson's a couple other riders I think that we saw right there in the thick of things and hot on his wheels. And was that the number 9, Hunter Hart? No, Hunter Hart was another minute and 48 seconds back, so I'm not sure. I thought that was a number 8, but I'm not seeing number 8 in the top 10 here on lap number. So back down the other side, here comes Walker Fowler now. Out of the pits, we'll get a better a look at the front end of these machines to maybe get a better account as to who is coming down these hills at us next. We had him coming up the hill a minute ago, still wasn't able to catch him. But we'll start breaking into some of these amateur classes in just a moment. Somebody needs to tell Landon Wolf to turn that microphone off. All right, so you're looking down into the pro pits right now. You see the pits of Walker Fowler. That's where they're shooting from. There goes Joe Borge out of the pits now. That's Chris Borge's daddy's obviously going someplace to give some instruction, maybe a new pair of goggles or something like that to his rider. But nonetheless, a pretty empty zone right now. There's not a lot of anticipation of riders in. We haven't seen any major mechanical issues or breakdowns by any of our top riders out there. So it's been kind of a mundane day of racing from a pit standpoint. If you're in the pits, that makes it very nice. And of course, now pushing an hour and 6 minutes into this race as we look at this beautiful, magnificent mountain. Of course, we're noticing that Walker Fowler leading Adam McGill, Chris Borge, Jared McClure, and Bryson Neal, your top 5 again. And wow, what just a great day. We're gonna actually check in with those amateur riders coming up here in a few moments. But right now, we keep talking about the magnificent and beautiful Snowshoe Mountain Resort in this facility. Well, I'll tell you, it is just exactly that. And we put together, the folks here at Racer TV put together this little piece just to show you just exactly what it's all about and what things are like here on Snowshoe Mountain. Let's take the tour.
So here we are, Snowshoe Village, the hotbed of activity. Landon, man, you've been coming here a lot longer than I have. There is no shortage of things to do here in Snowshoe Village.
No, there really isn't. I think they add on every year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just, we got hotels, we got restaurants, we got coffee shops, some stores around here that are hopping on days like today. But there's plenty of things to do.
Yeah, there's the zip line. You've got live concerts and entertainment all weekend. One restaurant, Landon, you got to pick one. What's your favorite?
I mean, it's a tough call, but
yeah.
I'm going to have to go with the Foxfire Grill back there.
Yes.
Always a good time.
It is, absolutely. I'm going to go with Junction.
Really?
That's just my personal...
I mean, is it the food?
It's the food, because the party is at the party's all over the place,
right.
but I think you're right. Maybe the party is at Foxfire.
I mean, the party is usually right here where we are
Yeah,
standing.
exactly.
I mean, the nightlife, we got the stage right here in front of us.
Yep.
We got live concerts. Man, this place is a blast.
It's wild. If you've never been here, we got to encourage you in the future. Be here, Snowshoe GNCC. All right, so here we go. Central location, Snowshoe Village. There's more. Let's take a walk. Let's see what else we can find.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
All right, let's do it. We've seen a little bit of everything out here. There's a zip line. There's live concerts. There's restaurants. There's shops. Landon, there's also a race this weekend, man.
There is. I mean, it's hard to keep track of it all. There's so much stuff to do here. Here we are in front of VP Racing Fuels Pro Row. We have all the pro riders down here. The dirt bike pros over there. This is where a lot of the action goes on in the middle of the day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then after this settles down, we all kind of migrate up to town there where all that other cool stuff is going on.
Yeah, he's exactly right. There's your tour. That's everything. If you've never been to Snowshoe, we got to tell you guys, join us next year. You got to be here.
Hey guys, you're watching Racer TV. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors, and I beat Landon at checkers.
Not gonna happen.
It's
tough out here in the great outdoors. It's summertime, and things will get heated. Do you have what it takes to be part of the action? The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship will put you to the test, but reward you with the thrill of a lifetime. Join the fastest motocross racers in the world as they endure the elements and the toughest racetracks in America for national championship glory. Tickets for the Ironman National in Crawfordsville, Indiana on August 24th. Available at promotocross.com.
Your bearings shoulder the burden whenever you tow, haul, or stomp the gas. AMSOIL delivers powerful protection for bearings and other critical components so you can drive with confidence. To demonstrate, an independent lab put AMSOIL synthetic motor oil head-to-head against a leading competitor in a 100,000-mile test. AMSOIL provided far superior wear protection and kept engine bearings looking like new. Get your truck the protection it deserves at amsoil.com/auto.
I'm a junior pro surfer from Maui, Hawaii. I actually tried to homeschool in 8th grade and just didn't meet my needs. I came to On Track in 9th grade, and from the beginning I really liked it.
The mission at On Track School is to make academic success completely possible for each and every student while they're out pursuing their personal goals.
Everything is just super easy with On Track. I get to take my computer on the road whenever I need to. It makes it very easy for me to get all my work done.
If you're looking for a program that provides flexibility and a program that you can take anywhere that fits your lifestyle, then On Track is for you. So come check us out at ontrackschool.com and go get it.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. The all-new from the ground up 2019 Yamaha YZ250F is available at LoJack Cycle Sales, alongside the all-new YZ65 and YZ85 and refined YZ450F. So stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride. We are American motorcyclists. We are members of the American Motorcyclist Association. Racers, fans, and crew. We come together for this sport we love, to race together, to grow together. We start young and not so young. We race motorcycles and ATVs. We become friends, we become family. We compete for weekend bragging rights and national championships. We make memories on the toughest off-road courses in the country and on the best motocross tracks in the world. Some of us aspire to the speed and poise of road racing or the fierce competitiveness of American flat track, and we honor our greatest champions in the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Through it all, we cheer, we win, and we lose. We are racing. We are the AMA. Race with us. Be part of the greatest sport in the world. Be an American motorcyclist. Join us today at www.amajoin.com/join-now.
Hey guys, welcome back to Racer TV. We're about to head back to some racing, but just to fill you in on how this went down, go ahead, tell them, Mikey.
I lost.
And welcome back to GNCC Live here from Snowshoe Mountain Resort in Snowshoe, West Virginia for this 8th round of the 2019 GNCC season and the 13th running of the AMSOIL Snowshoe GNCC itself. Rodney Tomlin along with Landon Wolf and Mikey Wayne's hanging out, partying with the crowd down at Howard's Hole right now, keeping things interesting, that's for sure. And as we continue to roll here, we check and we see that we're at hour and now 12 minutes and working on an hour and 13 minutes. And yes, we are good. Kayla, we are good, just to give you a heads up. And an hour and now 13 minutes into this one, Walker Fowler leading Adam McGill along with Chris Borch, Jared McClure, and Bryce Neal. Cole Richardson back in 6th, Hunter Hart in 7th, Marty Christopherson is 8th, Greg Covert 9th, and well, the top 9 actually put that all the way back through top 12 riders, except for the Vet A rider, are all XC1 riders, and Kevin Yoho, a former XC1 rider from a few years ago, currently running in 10th overall from that Vet A 30-plus class. Josh Merritt, 11th, Johnny Gallagher, 12th, Jordan Poplansky, the leader of the XC2 Pro-Am class. He checks in in 13th overall, nearly 51 seconds back in the number 2 spot, the 82 of Drew Landers, or excuse me, the 17 of Drew Landers out of Monterey, Tennessee. Pawlowski's on the 82, by the way. So that's first and second. There's a bit of a gap between those guys. Then you got Wyatt Wilkin, the 621 and 15th overall. He's a minute and 2 seconds behind Drew Landers. So that starts to give you an indication of what these gaps are starting to look like whenever the top 15 are looking at a minute and 2 seconds, and even nearly 3 minutes in between some of these positions, and still in the top 20 overall. What kind of challenges are set forth on this race course out here? You know, we talk about it. You talk to anybody that race Blackwater, they'll tell you this is not a Blackwater race. This is not near as tough as Blackwater. You talk to someone else, and they'll tell you that their portions of this is just as challenging as any Blackwater race they ever raced. But the great thing about it is, regardless of what your take on it is America's new toughest race, and it is our tribute to the granddaddy of them all, the Blackwater 100. And here's the way things are breaking down on a class-by-class structure for you, as we took a look at the top 20 overall and the top 10 in the XC1. Let's take a look at Senior B40 Plus class now. Daniel Dakota, former ATV motocross racer, running in the number 1 spot out of Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Nick Lambruno, the 582 from Morgantown, West Virginia, running second. The 801, Robert Stevens from Warren Center, PA, is third. 84, Brian Locke is fourth place out of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Fifth place is Greg Phillips out of Monterey, Tennessee, on the number 80. And Jason Limley, the 404 from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, is your 6th place rider. By the way, checking back in with these XC2 Pro-Am riders, Poplawski, Landers, and Wilkin, your top 3, but it was Ronnie Rush, the 714, in the 4th place position. John Glada up to 5th place now, as he is running some, wow. I want you to put this into perspective right now. He's 3 minutes and 30 seconds out of first place. But I want you to put it in perspective, because don't be surprised if Glada doesn't end up winning this. 712 is 5th place. Then we got Ben Kowalewski in 6th place aboard the 219. Tanner Walker, the 22 and 7th. Matt Blankenship, the 127 and 8th. Kenny Schick, the 191, is 9th. And Steve Covert rounds out your top 10, the 27. Big brother of Greg Covert from that XC1 class. College A class. Wow, look at this. Motocrosser. After 3 laps of racing, he's a motocross star, as well as factory Honda-backed ride of Noah Mickelson out of Salisbury, North Carolina. The 400 with a 2.9-second lead. 3 seconds is all that separated he and Brandon Owens out of Walker, West Virginia, for first place. But then back to 3rd place, Seth Wilson, only 4 seconds behind them. We have got, you could throw a blanket over these 3 riders right now as they roll across these mountains. Noah Mickelson, the 400, the 246 of Brandon Owens, and the 26 of Seth Wilson, all within striking distance of each other. They have a 4-minute lead over the 4th place ride, the 622 of Dylan Walraven out of Dallas, Georgia. Cameron Avey, the 888 out of Union, South Carolina, in 5th. 6th place is Rhett Cox from Campbellsville, Kentucky. 7th spot, Hunter Shriver, the 818 from Waynesburg, PA. 8th spot, the 470, Chase Allen out of McClellantown, PA. 9th place, Casey Simmons from Coolville, Ohio. 10th place, Joey Osell, the 407 from Mechanicstown, Ohio, in that College A class. Junior A class, Michael McAvoy out of Chester, West Virginia, with the lead over the 359 of Cage Chrisman out of Ford City, PA. 1 minute and 9 seconds separating the two. J.D. Brown, the 415, 20 seconds back out of Elkins, West Virginia, in 3rd. Then out of Junior West Virginia, Chandler Burner, the 540, in 4th. In 5th place, the 991 of Jeremy Ladon from Glenshaw, Pennsylvania. 6th place now, the 44 of Luke Shepard from Marion, Ohio. 7th place is Josh Haney, the 36 from Upper Black Eddy, Pennsylvania. 8th spot, the 450, Ben Danner from Dawsonville, Georgia. Zachary Phillips is out of Parsons, West Virginia, the 83 and 9th. And Alex Elioff, the 317 from Valley City, Ohio, rounds out your top 10 in the Junior A 22 plus class. The Vet A class, in with 4 laps complete now. This will be interesting. I'll make sure that see what we're looking at here. But Kevin Yoho leading Big Papa Pete Jeff Pickens by 6.5 minutes. Brad Whitehead another minute and 4 seconds back in third. Fourth place, the 494 of Dirk DeCesar out of Mineral Ridge, Ohio in fourth. Chris Conklin, the 48 from Sistersville, West Virginia in fifth. And Todd Muscala, the number 60 from Uniontown, PA in sixth. Seventh, the 807 Michael Lancaster out of Morgantown, West Virginia. 8745 of Jay Turner out of Albright, West Virginia. Jeremy Gouchard out of Mansfield, Ohio is ninth place aboard the 408 in that Vet 8 30-plus class. Now, I want to check again to make sure that there's no big changes in that overall. Kevin Yoho up to 8th place overall. Kevin Yoho is now up to 8th place after 4 laps. That short lap on the east side of the mountain. Walker Fowler, by the way, checking in with a 12:32 lap time. Jared McClure up to second as he's gotten around Adam McGill. But again, remember, Jared McClure on time adjustments. So McClure is about a second behind somebody out there. Let's see if we can figure out who that would be. Actually, he's a second behind Bryson Neal, but running second overall on time adjustments. He's 1 second behind Bryson Neal physically on the racetrack. And second place overall on time adjustments. That moves Adam McGill back to third overall. Chris Borch in fourth overall. Bryson Neal is fifth place overall. Cole Richardson, sixth place aboard the number 5. Hunter Hart, seventh. Kevin Yoho in eighth overall from that Vet 830-plus class. Greg Covert, ninth. Marty Christopherson in 10th. A couple of New Yorkers. Actually, 3 New Yorkers in that top 10 for you today. For those of you in the Niowa series, something for you to cheer about there for sure. As we go to the Senior A class and take a look next at Brian Shaw. Wow, look at that. Those guys are all pretty clean for mud fleas, though. I got to give them that. A lot of people. Brian Shaw leading the Senior 840-plus class. I expect maybe a update coming in from Mikey Wayne's here pretty soon. But Brian Shaw, Senior 840-plus class rider, 828 out of Harrisville, Pennsylvania. 44-second lead over Michael Hayes, the 42 from Rocky Pace, Georgia. Third spot, the 555 Weststone from Auburn, PA. In fourth place, Mark Batson, the 636 from LaSalle, Michigan. Fifth place, Dale Batson, the 671 from Ida, Michigan. Mark and Dale Batson, our brothers, media all-star riders, and also former ATV motocross racers themselves. Sixth place, the 410 of John Salsa. Seventh place is last year's Vet B 30-plus class national champion, and he is 7th place in the Senior 840-plus class. His first time out here, the 698 of Dave Napo. There is Walker Fowler flying solo once again up at the airport as we check in with 8th place, the 451 Tom Barrett, Jason Noble, the 301 and 9th place in that Senior A class. So, how far of a gap is it back to second place now? I know that we have seen and counted a few minutes. Let's look and see what the physical adjustment is between a minute and 28 seconds back to Adam McGill. And on adjusted time right now, that's only about 9 seconds better than what Adam McGill is. So McClure's only got Adam McGill by 9 seconds on adjusted time right now, just to give you a heads up on that one. Looking at some of these other classes, we got College B 16 to 21-year-old class. Dalton Keys leading the 171 of Grayson Eller, Phoenix Racing Honda ride. Cale Klein, the 345 from Camargo, Illinois, running in third. Jared Dawkins out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, 330 and fourth. Fifth place, Braylon Secure out of Clearfield, Kentucky. Still waiting on second place physically on the track, which should be still 521 of Adam McGill to check in with us. Tyler Rumke running in sixth place of the College B class. Kate Alexo is seventh. Keegan Walker, the 929 and eighth. Tanner Green, 607 and ninth. And Caden Ryan rounds out your top 10 College B. Junior B, Travis Mathias leading Justin Ison by about a minute and 26 seconds. Brent Baker is third aboard the 315. Jonathan Crimebull in fourth. Josh Adams, the 242, rounds out the top 5. David Kite, 321 and 6. Curtis Tarman in 7th. Then we got Neil Tolston, the 337 and 8th. Travis McConaughey at 9th. And Joseph Murphy, 327 and 10th. And this looks like this could be a nose-to-tail battle. This is the battle. And Mikey Wayne's about ready to give us an update, but I think this is our battle back there for the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place positions. That's Adam McGill right now, physically in the second place position, as we can see that 521. And as we take a look at things right now, I think back there in that third place position, as we were looking at that, was Chris Borge, followed by Bryson Neal, Cole Richardson, and Jared McClure at the tail end of that pack. At least he would have been a lap ago. I know that we Saw McGill, Borch, Neal, and Richardson. Pretty sure that McClure was in that mix as well, but it was hard to tell again with the mud on some of those number plates. So we'll watch with bated breath here to see who comes out of these wood sections next, and we'll be keeping an eye on the finish line region also, as we should be seeing our leaders check in on that side of the mountain coming up here in about 8 minutes or so, if I've got that calculated right. Might be a little bit sooner, but about 8 minutes from what best I can tell. Chris Borch back there in the number 4 spot, last year's winner. Jared McClure is the sneaky snake once again here. Haven't had a chance to go back and check the results boards, but seems like McClure has won here a time or two. I think once in the early days and then once in recent years, but I could be a little on the mistaken side of that also. He is one of those riders that seems to be within striking distance on so many different battles throughout his career, but many more of those he comes up shorter on than he does with the advantage. But hey, he's come up with the advantage a time or two here at Snowshoe.
Okay, let's do a top amateur.
Well, folks, as we watch out here at the airport and wait for more of our top riders to check in, we'll be keeping an eye on that and keeping an eye on the rest of the field also. As we talk about a lot of these amateur riders, we just went through the top 10 in each one of our classes. Well, I'll tell you, we've got more great things going on here this weekend as far as amateurs are concerned, because amateurs always, amateurs are what make the professionals. If it weren't for the amateurs, then there would be no need for the amateurs to be out there. And well, my friends, with that, we got another great amateur rider spotlight here from Snowshoe GNCC.
Me and my buddy were going to join the Marines together, and he didn't show up that morning, so I went to the Marines and began my career back in '96. Once it's in you, you'll never leave it, never. We followed it live feed over in Poland. We were actually the first unit to take tracked vehicles to eastern Poland. We're a deterrent force for Russia, so the threat's real, but we were there.
Wow, and anytime you could, you guys were tuned in to GNCC Live, huh?
Every week it was on. I got fellow brothers over there that were in my unit. They transferred to other units, took promotions. Just give a shout out to them. Basically, it's great to be back with the race family. I won't lie to you, I got emotional. I'm a little choked up now, but definitely thanks to all my sponsors to make it possible, the race family. Biggest thing is my teammates, Veteran Family Racing, that's my nonprofit, raise awareness for PTSD and suicide for vets. Just a real moment about me. Racing actually saved my life. I mean, I hit rock bottom, and they pulled me out. So we do it, race therapy. You go overseas, you live in that adrenaline state, and you come home, and it's kind of, I hate to say mundane life, but it's not the same. Your body goes through withdrawals, and racing gives you that. So I do it. I'll never quit it. Never.
Of the U.S. military, of course, and the GNCC Racing Nation. You heard him talking about it there. Served 4 tours of duty, and that's our amateur spotlight. Welcoming him back here stateside and back to GNCC Racing. Unfortunately, I don't think he's getting the race today because he loaned his quad out a year ago, and it hasn't got put back together from last year's Snowshoe GNCC. What a heartbreaker for him. But Alan Carpenter, our amateur spotlight rider of the week there, and rightfully so, serving our great nation and laying his life on the line, as so many do each and every day. And we appreciate Alan and everyone out there in our armed forces, past and present. And if you're going in, we appreciate you too, because we know that you're laying it all on the line as well. Right now, an hour and 27 minutes into this one. We should be close to, I think, near a 2-hour race whenever this one's said and done. We've gone over a little bit in the last race or so, which made for some interesting battles, I think. But these guys like that. They like that 2-hour solid battle. Sometimes they get a little shorter. Sometimes they're a little longer than the 2 hours. But we should be right in that 2-hour frame today, as these guys are working their way in now. I'm expecting at the finish line, well, we see steam on that hillside there, expecting the leaders in about 3 minutes at the finish line, if not sooner. And see what that gap is starting to look like, see whether or not Kevin Yoho is able to work up through the pack or not. In this up to 8th place position from that vet A 30-plus class. Pretty impressive riding by that coal miner, ATV racer. That's one thing that was always cool about Kevin Yoho. And let's head on down to Mikey Wings. We'll finish that story in a minute. That's where the real party's happening.
Hey, guys, we just saw the leaders come through here. We saw Walker, a little bit of struggles for Walker as he made his way through here, but was able to get through. Rest of the pack working their way through Howard's Hole now. I believe I've lost my FM radio. I'm completely lost, but I'm pretty sure that's the last time they're coming through here. And then I make my way to the podium. I think I got to take a shower first.
Definitely looks like you need to do something there, but wow. Mikey Wayne certainly having a tremendous time down there at Howard's Hole, and if being dirty is any indication, then Mikey's had a blast down there, so he's going to be heading up here and getting ready for podium presentations in just a few minutes at the finish line here, well, within the next 30 minutes. Hopefully he can make it up there. There's Walker Fowler in at the finish line in about a minute and a half sooner than I expected anyway. Walker Fowler in out of Rogers, Ohio, 22:22 lap times. Man, he just keeps burning it up. How he's turning those kind of lap times as those conditions continue to deteriorate on that side of the mountain just totally blows me away right now. Been hanging in that 22 to 22 and a half minute range basically this entire race on that side of the mountain, which, like I said, is very impressive to me considering conditions, the Howard's Hole, the race fans, the riders maybe in the wait lap traffic. I mean, wow, what a force of excellence that we're seeing being put forth by Walker Fowler here today. Sounds like maybe Landon Wolf about to check in. Okay, I thought I heard him pipe in there for just a second, but regardless, we're going to continue to watch here and see how many more of these or when these riders are checking in. Do you realize we're still waiting right now for second place to come through on this finish line, at this finish line? Physically, 1 minute and 30 seconds is what Walker Fowler was looking at as far as the lead. He was turning about a 40-second faster lap. So in theory right now we should probably see about a 2 minute and 10-second gap between first and second when second does. Well, I was wrong. Bryson Neal, wow, up to second place. And here is the freight train coming through, but Bryson Neal's just ahead of them. He has broke away from that freight train. The Bidwell Bullet up to second. He is 1 minute and 39 seconds behind Walker Fowler at this particular point, but he has secured himself, at least for the moment, in that second place overall position. Jared McClure looking at third place in that freight train at the tail end of it, I believe, coming in. Chris Borch is fourth overall. Adam McGill has dropped from second now to fifth place position as McGill's Mountain not treating his master so well, it doesn't appear, here today in the great state of West Virginia. Cole Richardson also in with us as he is within 8 seconds of that freight train of riders that we saw going through there at the finish for that battle for the number 2 spot. But 13 seconds, I think, is what we're seeing. Well, let me do some adjustments here. I think Jared McClure is physically... Yeah, Jared McClure is physically third on the racetrack as well as on time adjustment. Bryson Neal physically third on the racetrack himself. Chris Borch is looking at, half a second behind Jared McClure. Adam McGill about a half second or almost a second behind Chris Borch. And Cole Richardson is 8.2 seconds now back in the 6th place position. So, wow. Jared McClure really settling in up there, still within, but Walker Fowler's making it tough for anybody. You got to wonder if Bryson Neal could have made this break earlier. Could he may have gotten Walker Fowler back in sight and kept him under pressure, as we've seen Neal doing these last couple of rounds of racing? Well, we'll never know the answer to that question because Bryson couldn't do that at all. So right now it's a matter of Bryson trying to stay ahead of the rest of the field and try to close in on Walker Fowler at the same time. But one has to imagine that 1 minute 40 seconds, barring no mechanical issues or I guess bottlenecks out there, it's going to be tough for Bryson Neal to do that. And folks, you know, we were talking there a few moments ago. I made a mention a minute ago about Adam McGill and trimming his beard down, and we also mentioned that Marty Christopherson had done just exactly the same thing. It's funny, I ran into him yesterday in the pits, and I literally did not recognize him. If it had not been for Caitlin Osborne, I would have not known Marty Christopherson. But we got a little word in with Marty leading into this mountainous race here in the great state of West Virginia.
What happened to your face?
I turned 30, so I wanted to feel younger.
It works. It looks good on you, man. Was this your idea or Kate's? Be honest.
I don't know. I think it wasn't my idea. I don't know. She said it might not be a bad idea, but I don't know. Something different. It's been a long time I've had the beard, so it's time for a change.
Well, on behalf of guys who can't grow beards like myself, I'm angry at you, but I get it. I understand. There's so much to do here at Snowshoe. Marty got himself a waffle from Waffle Cabin. Is it good?
Oh, it's lovely. I get them every year.
There you go. Stop by Waffle Cabin. No shortage of things to do at Snowshoe. We can shave beards. We can eat waffles. Everything.
that waffle, Jerry McClure was talking about the Waffle Cabin this morning too, so sounds like everybody enjoying the Waffle Cabin here at Snowshoe and shaving beards. Wow, like I said, if you knew Marty with the beard, seeing him without the beard was certainly an eye-opener. Same thing with Adam McGill. I thought it was some kid standing there beside me this afternoon whenever we were doing pre-race reports, but they did. They shaved their beards, and that's good. Good to know, and good to see that they're looking for changes out there. And whenever you're looking for changes in your physical appearance, you're looking for changes all around. And I know that's what Marty's out there searching for today. It's a little tough under these conditions. Marty struggling back there, I think, in 10th place position as we look at the overall standings right now. But nonetheless, keeping head down and moving forward, and that's the important thing here. As we watch the FMF PowerPoint here, I think we'll be looking for our leaders to check in. We've got Hunter Hart is now checked in through our top 7. He was 3 minutes and 53 seconds behind Cole Richardson. Wow. Things have really stretched out quite a bit there, so interesting point to ponder as we'll continue to watch this scoreboard here. Next up, should be seeing Greg Covert, Marty Christopherson checking in, but also Kevin Yoho should be checking in at some point from that Vet A30 Plus class, and we'll see on time adjustments whether or not he's able to keep this pace. One thing that I do question whether or not Kevin can do it, I don't know what his training regimen's been like recently. Wouldn't surprise me if he didn't start training specifically for an event like today, or maybe some of the other battles that he's been faced with so far here in that Vet A30 Plus class. So, like they said, that's not real deep. You saw that rider just sitting there, and it's not the mud that they're getting stuck in. It's getting stuck on the rocks, the water and mud that is slung up on the rocks, making the rocks a little slick and tough to traverse. And that's where these riders are having problems. They're dragging the bottoms of those machines, ripping those skid plates off, and breaking components. So amazing that you see as many riders finish these things as what they do, but that just goes to show you what kind of great aftermarket programs we have out there that build the great equipment that put these riders and put them in a position that they're able to put them through these types of tests year after year here at Snowshoe Mountain. So Mikey Waynes has left the party. Doesn't look like the party is left by no stretch of the imagination as they continue to rock the house down there today. Looks like Greg Covert has checked in. Covert is in 8th. We see that Kevin Yoho has checked in. Now Kevin Yoho in 9th place. So now I'm not taking anything away from Kevin. Like I said, I don't think that Kevin's really into a big training regimen. So the latter part of this race might start to see him fade a little bit. And one rider we aren't seeing fade. It just seems like he gets faster and faster. It's that rider right there that is clawing his way and clawing and fighting his way up the FMF PowerPoint to the top right now. Walker Fowler now into the pro pit section, I believe. This will be, if I'm not mistaken, the last time we'll see him through on that one here in an hour and near 38 minutes into this race. So now we've got nearly, a minute and 40 seconds that we got to wait. So last time on this west side, they got to go through the east side one more time, and then we'll see the checkers coming out for those boys here shortly. So this race, I was calculating right at the 2-hour mark. I'm beginning to think that we might be around the 2:03, 2:04 range now. Wait, lap times are starting to appear where our riders are, at least on the racetrack right now. But again, it's official word comes from our timing and scoring. I'm just doing a quick see there. There's Walker Fowler grabbing a quick splash of gas. Wiping those gloves off, getting that mud off those gloves, fresh goggles, and have to think precautionary measures as much as anything, but Walker wants to ensure a win. So good hands on the grips, good fresh tank of gas, some fresh goggles, and off and rolling he goes. And still no sign of second place. And this may be, let's see if this is Neil coming up through here or not. If that is the case, he has really stretched it out from that pack of riders. And that's exactly who I think that was, Bryson Neal. And this pack of riders that was running nose to tail, basically stretching out as they make their way up this FMF PowerPoint. But, hey, I believe there's still a lot of things that can happen in that battle right now. So who's got second place? No one knows. Who's got third place? No one knows. Who has first? Well, we can probably guess that it's going to be Walker unless some issue happens to pop up, and I don't want to be the one that says that I threw the gremlin in Walker's program over there for the day, but that right there really basically boils down to that's the only thing that's going to take him out of it, a mechanical or a big mistake on his part, which come far and few between. Got a couple minutes here. In just a few minutes, I'll go through the top 5 of all of our classes, give you an idea of what the final lap is shaping up like. We've seen I did a quick scan, didn't talk about it, but I did a quick scan, but a lot of changes in a lot of those classes out there. There are some that stayed pretty kosher, but still I think a lot of room for some bigger changes and some good battles to develop as that race was wearing on. Either that or things to stretch out even more. So whatever the case may be, we'll take a look at it here in a few minutes. And that's Cole Richardson in right now. The Cole train, that is your 6th place ride in and out of the pits now. As we've seen Neal, McClure, Borch, and McGill making their way in and out of this VP Fuels Pro Row. Folks, don't forget to join us over in the Village post the racing for the podium presentations. Of course, Mikey Waynes will do a quick interviews. Mikey Waynes will be doing some quick interviews just post the race itself, but they'll be going up for the full in-depth interviews at Snowshoe's Village stage coming up following this race. So make sure you check in there and have a good time. Don't forget also, scheduled for 5 o'clock tonight is the EMTB GNCC, that specialized EMTB GNCC. Right now, as of right now, we're still looking at 5 o'clock for the start time, but I would probably think that 5:30 might be a more realistic time, giving the track crew time to give the track time a little bit of crew. All right, down here at the finish line now as our leaders are starting to check in. I believe white flag is out now, so Walker Fowler has got 6 laps in on this one, a 12:52 lap time. So that lap time, or excuse me, yeah, that lap time about 30 seconds longer. He had a leisurely stop in at the pro pits that time around. So I think last time we seen him through was a 12:22. So about 30 seconds added onto that lap, and again attribute a lot of that to that pit stop. But I don't think that a lot of folks were able to make a lot of gains during that time. So looking at this one last time through Howard's Hole and through the east side of the mountain, about 11.5 minutes, we should be seeing our leaders check in with a checker flag and the conclusion of this 13th running of the AMSOIL Snowshoe GNCC. Some of the cleanest mud. Well, I'll take that back. There's a couple of dirty fellers. Oh, yeah, we'll see them. There's a bunch more. And like Landon said, this is just a small portion of Howard's Hole. The magnitude of it is kind of hard to imagine, I guess, unless you go down there. But it's somewhere in the neighborhood. And I've heard this for years. It just keeps growing and growing. But it's a half-mile plus longer now as that mud hole just continues to grow and grow and grow, as we are taking a look at that right now. And, of course, with that, looks like we got about an hour and 43 minutes into this race. About 11, 12 minutes, we'll be seeing our leaders check in for checkers. We've got Walker Fowler out front, Bryson Neal in second, Jared McClure is third with Chris Borch and Adam McGill in fourth and fifth. Who's going to end up taking that second place position away? Will it be Neal, McClure, or Borch, or will McGill finally get up there? And I tell you what, it's going to take a miracle, but can anybody stop Walker Fowler at this point? Stick around. GNCC Live continues after this.
The 2019 Yamaha YXZ 1000R sets a new standard for all sports side-by-sides, offering increased performance and expanded drivability over a wider variety of terrain, improved overall comfort, and Yamaha-proven off-road durability. There's no other side-by-side like it, not even close.
Consistent clutch feel is vital to effective starts or to confidently maneuver around obstacles on the trail. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil was subjected to an extreme simulated start test. After 32 simulated race starts, AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil continued to deliver consistent clutch feel, and the clutch plates remained clean with no visible wear. The competitor's oil, however, allowed discoloration and significant wear after just 16 starts. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil. Give your bike the protection it needs.
This week in Yamaha history, we take a look back at the 2007 Snowshoe GNCC. Being only the third running of America's newest, toughest race, the 2007 Snowshoe GNCC was about to get its first real taste of race time adjustment. The day started out to be what seemed like a normal GNCC. The killer bees of Chris Borch and Yamaha's Bill Balance were out front in a torrid battle for top honors. While their war waged, XC2 Yamaha-mounted Brian Wolf from Ohio was powering his way through the West Virginia rocks and mud to physically take over the third-place position on the track. Was it enough, though, to take the win? While Borch and Balance battled one another, the only thing they could not beat was time. At the checkers, the Yamaha-mounted XC2 rider Brian Wolf rode into history as the first ever XC2 rider to win a GNCC overall. And that's this week in Yamaha history. This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Specialized Turbo e-bikes, it's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And welcome back to GNCC Live from Snowshoe Mountain Resort in Snowshoe, West Virginia. It's round 8 of the AMSOIL GNCC series, and this is, yes, you guessed it, the AMSOIL Snowshoe GNCC itself. Let's take a look at some beautiful scenery here in Almost Heaven, West Virginia. Rodney Tomlin along with Mikey Waynes and also Landon Wolf out and about. And A 2-hour race right now, about ready to wrap up here as we are approaching that 2-hour mark. Walker Fowler been leading this one pretty much from the drop of the green flag there, and it's been a dogfight basically for the second place position. We've seen also our top amateur Kevin Yoho up into the top 10 as far as a 7th place overall position, currently running in 9th place after wrapping up 5 laps of racing for him. And so far through the top 6 riders, we got in with 6 laps complete, which means they finished their last time on the west side of the mountain. We got Walker Fowler out front. He's got 1 minute and 41 seconds over Bryson Neal. Jared McClure running in the number 3 spot aboard the number 2. He is physically 3rd on the racetrack also, at least last check he was. Chris Borch in 4th. Adam McGill rounding out the top 5. Cole Richardson in that 6th place position. Then it was about 4 minutes back to Hunter Hart. Hunter Hart running in the number 7 spot. The rookie, if you will, even making note that this was certainly a veteran-style race to know how to do, and he had hoped to be able to pick up some pointers and some tips from some of these riders, but somehow or another, Hunter found himself by himself early on and has pretty much had to figure this one out all on his own. As we go through that top 10, again, Fowler, Neal, McClure, Borch, McGill, your top 5. Richardson in 6th. Hunter Hart was 7th. 8th, Greg Covert. Kevin Yoho, 9th. Drew Landers, leader of the XC2 Pro-Am class, 10th place overall at the end of lap number 5. So we've seen a change there. Jordan Paplansky was leading, and it looks like Drew Landers has made the grade, made up the time, and made the pass now, and moved into that number 1 spot of the XC2 Pro-Am class, and that puts him in the 10th place overall. And this could be, I think, Drew Landers' first win in this XC2 Pro-Am class, and if that's the case, wow, what a monumental affair. He's come so close so many times this year so far, but somehow or another, John Galata always seems to come from out of nowhere to steal the glory and the victory there at the very end of the races. Don't know that that's going to be the case today as we continue to watch our riders traversing this airport piece of the property. And we wait as well for the next 4 minutes for a checker flag to unfurl for Walker Fowler, and then finally to find out what is going to take place in this battle for the 2nd place position, and as equally as important to me, what's going on in that XC2 Pro-Am class. Let's jump back there real quick and look at that. Sorted out a little bit better. Landers and Poplawski running 1 and 2, about 20 seconds separating them. Another 24 seconds back to Wyatt Wilkin. And then John Galata is in the number 4 spot. The saving grace for the rest of the field, though, is that he's 2 minutes and 34 seconds out of 3rd place position. So that may or may not be the cushion that those top 3 are looking for right now to find themselves securely on the podium. Ronnie Rush running in 5th. On the 714, Ben Kowalewski is 6th. Steve Covert in 7th. Tanner Walker in 8th, Kenny Schick in 9th, and Matt Blankenship, last year's College A champ, rounding out the top 10. By the way, Tanner Walker is one of the co-founders, I believe, of 9-2 Motorsports that you're starting to see a lot out here in the GNCC Racing Nation. Way to go, Tanner. Glad to see that you're putting some entrepreneurial skills to work here in the GNCC Racing Nation. So that's what it's looking like in the XC2 Pro-Am class right now. But again, looks like Landers might be on his way to a win, and that's going to be a big one for him because I know it's something that he's been searching for, looking for, and fighting for all season long, and he just keeps coming up just that little bit short. But again, he's not grabbed them checkers just yet today, so he can't. Oh, look at that. He just checked in. He is now 9th place overall on time adjustments. Jordan Poplawski now 40 seconds behind him, rounds out the top 10 overall. So Drew Landers actually making some gains out there, it looked like, over the course of the last few moments. So, or the last 12 minutes or so. 13 as he went through that west side of the mountain. Now he's headed over on the east side of the mountain for the last time. Walker Fowler should be about to exit the east side of the mountain, should be made his way already through that troubled Howard's Hole section of this race course, and basically lay a chase for checkers as his head's down and charging, according to my calculations, about 2 minutes or so before we'll be seeing Fowler in there at the finish line. There you can see the mud hole, still a very popular place to be, but a lot of fans are starting to make their way up to the top of the hill so they can congratulate their favorite riders and the riders that they helped through these tough conditions out here. Got to hand it to those mud fleas, though. If it weren't for them, some of those guys might not make it through Howard's Hole, and that's the beauty of it. Hundreds, if not thousands, of race fans down there at Howard's Hole today, watching the action all unfold here in this four-wheel extravaganza. Now, tomorrow, it'll be a big party. I don't know that it'll be as big, but it's going to be a big one tomorrow, too. Walker Fowler due in about a minute according to my calculations, and that's still going to put him, wow, I totally messed this one up. I was thinking we're going to be right at 2 hours, and then I thought, well, we're going to be about 2:03, and now actually my calculations might be on the backside of that. And maybe my timing and scoring might be off a little bit here. So if that's the case, that this is a little bit longer, and my calculations might have gotten. No, you know what? I might have messed that up. I might be a little off on this. Actually, we might still be about 5 more minutes before we should be expecting to 7 minutes before we should expect to see them at the finish line. Which I'm thinking we haven't seen them come through the Howard's Hole here, so that would make sense. And that would put us back there in that 2 hour and 4. I thought I had that figured out right. All of a sudden, things started speeding up on me. I apologize. I got a little ahead of myself there. Is Walker Fowler making his final way through, it looks like, in final time through Howard's Hole, and doing it without any issues whatsoever. Hasn't got hung up on the first rock. I haven't seen the first mud flea have to reach out and grab a bumper or anything. And now other riders are going to be coming through, but it's going to be a while. Nearly 2 minutes before we see Bryson Neal, Jared McClure, Chris Borch, and Adam McGill, and Cole Richardson checking in. Richardson was about 15 seconds back last time around, but these moments at Howard's Hole and these final laps and closing moments can oftentimes afford themselves some beautiful opportunities. So we'll see whether or not that is the case, and whether or not any of these riders will be able to capitalize on the misfortunes of others and change these positions up, jock him up a little bit before we actually get to the finish line itself. So with that, again, I apologize. I'm still thinking we're still about 7 minutes out from a checker flag. I think I got my producer a little bit excited there too as well. Sorry, Adam Gordon, doing a great job. But I got a little, with these two sides of the mountains like this, I keep getting confusing myself. We'll be back on it tomorrow, back on our A game, and then be ready to go again in 2 weeks as we'll be heading to the high voltage GNCC right there in PA, Greene County, if you will, right basically a farm or so away from where we are for the Mason-Dixon GNCC coming up in September. But we're going to be over there the weekend of July 6th and 7th. Check out GNCCRacing.com for more details and information about that. And I have to tend to believe that we're going to see a lot of the old school GNCCers there for that weekend of racing, because it's right there in the middle of GNCC country, in the thick and in the heart of it. Greene County, I mean, there's so many people that ride over in Greene County. I have to think that it's going to be a Greene County weekend in PA when we go to celebrate our independence over there. Back down here at the Monster Mile one final time. Did we just see our leaders? No, that wasn't our leaders just yet. Our second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place positions anyway. Looks like a little mud wrestling might be going on down there. That girl's about ready to throw that boy in. They must be getting the wrestling, or excuse me, the racing is starting to get a little uninteresting to them at this point, I guess. So we are looking for our leaders to check in at the finish line soon. We're hoping to see the second, third place, fourth place, fifth place battles coming through here anytime now. You can tell that this course has certainly taken its toll on some of these individuals as they limp their way through this Howard's Hole portion of the racetrack. You can see it in the body language that this course has taken its toll physically and mentally on a number of these riders as they traverse some of the toughest terrain that they will bear witness to. You know, talking about the mud, it's tough here, it's tough there. This race has this, and this race has that. But I'm going to go down to it. This is a true, I think, tribute race to the Blackwater 100, America's new toughest race. And I believe that watching the way these riders here toward the end of the race are trying to manipulate this course should be a pretty good indication that this race certainly throws a little more at them than the normal GNCC does. And again, waiting for Walker Fowler at the finish line, waiting to see what's going to happen in that battle for the second place position. Wondering if Drew Landers is going to be able to hang on to the lead in the XC2 Pro-Am class, as we still got just a few moments before we'll see those checkers coming out. And there we go to the AMSOIL chicanes. You will be able to see folks getting excited. Here comes some of the Yamaha crew in as they're getting set up for celebrations, it looks like. And our track crew preparing for the wrap-up of this one as well. Man, I tell you, looking at that, that was a beautiful green piece of property just this morning. Yep, just freshly mown, looking beautiful, and now it's turned into a pure GNCC race course. And I liked how Miss Caroline said before we made our way into today's race, y'all enjoy yourself and have fun out there tearing up the mountain, but do it respectfully. And she meant go out and have some fun, but please be respectful to the mountain. Bring your trash in and all that kind of stuff. We got a heck of a trash crew, but it's always nice to have that little bit of help if you're going to be going out in the woods, folks. Bring what you take in or take out back. What you take in back out with you, I guess, is what I'm trying to say right now. Approaching the 2-hour mark, and again, I think my calculations might be closer to right around that 2:03, 2:04 mark, so we're going to wait with bated breath here at the finish line to see whether or not Walker is going to be able to hang on to it and capture win number 51 in his career, as well as looking to, well, best Bill Balance next on the all-time wins record at 67. And then, of course, looking ahead even further to Chris Borch, who has 75 race wins to date. It could be more as time goes on, but if Chris has anything to say about it, we'll be clicking off a few more. I know that Chris was really hoping to be able to take another win here this year as he did last year, and was hoping to position himself for that, but it looks like somewhere at some point about midway through the race he got himself out of that position completely and has not been able to make the gains to the ground that's necessary to make up to get it back into that position. Will he be able to claw his way up to a second place spot? That question remains to be answered. That's for sure right now. And an hour and 30 seconds now into this race. So once again, looking at our two finish lines, we got one for the east side, one for the west side. When you look at it, it's obviously two different laps, but we, in our minds, combine them together to make them one big long lap. So we're looking at probably, what, an 18-mile, 20-mile race course these riders had to traverse with the east and west sides put together here this weekend. And I know the two-wheel guys have got themselves a Jim Dandy of a course coming up tomorrow after talking with Jared Bolton. There is Walker Fowler finally. Is this Howard's hole? That wasn't Walker we saw going through there a little while ago. Evidently, that was not. What's going on? So Walker a little further back than what? Okay, so wow. I was way off. I'm gonna egg on my face on that one. I really thought I wasn't the only one, but I will take the credit for that because I'm the one that said it. But regardless, with the confusion, the mud, this, that, and the other, that one, we thought that Walker had already gone through there. He had not, but now we see that Walker has gone through there, and he did it with, wow, a little more dedication this time, and rightfully so, because that hole has certainly got a lot more challenging over the course of these 3 or 4 laps that these riders have had to make their way through that side of the mountain. So right now, 2:02 is where we're at, and should be getting closer to the finish of this race. Still going to take a few minutes to get from the bottom of that hill to the top of the hill where the checkers are. And again, like I said, I think my original calculations were right. We got a little confused on this east side of the mountain over here on this final lap, and do apologize for that. But most importantly, riders are still moving. Riders' gains are still being made. Passes are still being made, and we're still looking for the story for this one when this one's all said and done. And that's the beauty of these races. They all come with some sort of story and one overlying theme. Of course, I would say that Slick Money Rocks might be the overlying theme here today, and possibly challenging conditions that these riders were faced with. And again, rightfully so. This is the tribute to the Blackwater 100, so why not throw some of the toughest stuff in at these folks under some of the most extreme conditions of GNCC racing. Keep it interesting. So Fowler finally came through there. There to Monster Mile. We really thought that it was someone else gingerly working their way through. Well, a Yamaha that looked very similar to Walker's, but it wasn't. It was about 10 minutes ahead of time. So now we finally get the lowdown of, we saw that, but we are not going to miss, I don't think, Walker Fowler's win number 51 here today, because folks are amped up and charged up for that one. Especially the Yamaha crew, the blue crew over there. They saw win number 50. Now that they've got the big 5-0, let's start moving forward again. So these riders coming through pretty whooped indeed, no doubt. Checker flag in hand for Ricky Towery, and Walker Fowler does it, my friends. Walker Fowler winding his way around into the final chicanes and takes the checkers from Ricky Towery to win the Snowshoe GNCC here in Snowshoe, West Virginia. Win number 51 for Walker Fowler as he fist bumps and high fives the blue crew down there, and everyone is excited for Walker Fowler and his next stage in his record books and trying to capture the second place position in the all-time wins list, away from Bill Balance. Still a ways to go on that one, but regardless, clicking them off like this, they're going to come a lot sooner than what you realize. So that wraps it up. Walker Fowler takes the win, at least for him, but there is still nothing decided as far as second place is concerned in this battle in the XC1 Pro class. You can see that Walker Fowler didn't do this without a little bit of a challenge. The mud very thick across his body, on top of his helmet right now, on his gloves. So no doubt that Walker and this whole afternoon race crew has been faced with some very challenging conditions that have put them through the test here this weekend. Bryson Neal rolling across in second place, and talk about a well-deserved second, man. He was battling back there with those riders for so long, and here comes that third place position. Who's going to get third overall? And it looks like, I believe it's going to be Jerry McClure. Let's wait till the official timing and scoring tells us that and indicates that too, but no, Chris Borch, I guess, gets that position. Double check, hang on. I wasn't looking at the screen to see who came through physically first there, or physically third. But if McClure was that close to Borch, one would have to think that he gets the position, but I don't think that's going to be the case as we look at elapsed time right now. Yeah, Chris Borch will take third place by 12 seconds over Jared McClure, it looks like. So Chris Borch will take third place position. Bryson Neal in second. Walker Fowler will take the win here today at Snowshoe Mountain Resort. According to timing and scoring right now, Adam McGill will finish up in the number 5 spot. Cole Richardson, the number 5, the Coal Train, will round out the 6th place position here today in a hard-fought battle. And to be in a top 6 spot here today is an honor, knowing the, the competition that was out there battling in those spots today. Looking down there at the finish line, lots of smiles. Lots of smiles, and rightfully so, my friends, as the celebrations are about to get underway. And we'll begin celebrating with Walker and the rest of the crew coming up here in just a few moments with Mikey Waynes. But stick around. We'll be back with more GNCC Live right after this.
Consistent clutch fuel is vital to effective starts or to confidently maneuver around obstacles on the trail. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil was subjected to an extreme simulated start test. After 32 simulated race starts, AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil continued to deliver consistent clutch feel, and the clutch plates remained clean with no visible wear. The competitor's oil, however, allowed discoloration and significant wear after just 16 starts. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil. Give your bike the protection it needs.
All-new Yamaha Wolverine X2. With a compact chassis perfect for exploring tight technical terrain. An ultra-quiet and smooth 850 class twin-cylinder engine. And next-level versatility with a 600-pound dumping cargo bed. No other side-by-side delivers this level of proven off-road performance. The all-new Wolverine X2 from Yamaha.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Chematic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Chematic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Chematic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment. Whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends, professionals and enthusiasts depend on Chematic. Chematic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And welcome back to GNCC Live as we take a look at this beautiful, magnificent village atop of the hill. Yep, that's right, Snowshoe Mountain Resort, located on the top of the mountain, where most ski resorts are actually located at the bottom of the mountain. This one a little bit unique, and boy, I tell you, it offers up some spectacle views, no doubt about that. Spectacular views, I guess I should say. Was just talking with Mike Holbert, who's just in from the NBC Sports camera crew, telling us about the track. Said, boy, had some places out there, but overall the track was pretty good. But man, the places that it had were definitely challenging places. But again, looking at this almost heaven West Virginia view right there, and folks, you see why we keep coming back and why folks call it almost heaven. When you look out around from one of those particular viewing points that you're looking at right now and scan out and around, wow, what a beautiful place to be, high atop all the mountains around you, surrounding at nearly 5,000 feet. I think it's 4,848 feet. Elevation 4848 is what they call that here at Snowshoe Mountain. So pretty cool stuff, I think, to know that we're that high up. We got this kind of luxury resort this close to home. If you live in West Virginia, live in Pennsylvania, live in Ohio, like many of us do that race in the GNCC Racing Nation, then this is literally our backyard. Taking a good look at that. Now, you see that lake in the background? That's at the bottom of the hill, and it looks like just a little over the hill there. Well, that's probably in elevation to get 1,000 to 1,500 feet to elevation drop, but just to get to that particular point. So we're way up here as far as the top of the mountain is concerned. And of course, speaking top of the mountain, we got Mikey Waynes, who's with the rider right now that feels like he is top of the mountain as he is capped off one more win. Win number 3, I think it is now, for Walker Fowler here at Snowshoe. Well, congratulations to Walker Fowler, win number 51 as he takes it here in the mountains of West Virginia. And he said, you know, he didn't know, well, obviously Ohio's his home, and he's not a super fan of the mountains, but hey, he loves West Virginia whenever he wins, like all of us do. I can certainly understand that. Again, looking out over this magnificent view that we're looking at, the big valley down there, and of course across the many mountaintops as we are celebrating the well, I guess paying tribute, I guess would be the best way to put it, to the Blackwater 100, America's toughest race, with this now America's new toughest race here at Snowshoe Mountain. We got coming up here shortly also some EMTB GNCC racing for those of you folks that are here. We've also got coming up graduation, commencement ceremonies at 6 o'clock, EPW racing at the finish line about 6:30. We've got DJ Judd in the village. We've got family activities at Team Faith at 6 o'clock, and at 7 o'clock we've got, well, it looks like chapel services for about 30-45 minutes over there, so hope to see you folks over there and join us for that. And also coming up a little later tonight, let's see, what are some of the other things? We got obviously the Davison brothers going to be coming up tonight. They're going to be performing about 8:45, so that should do a great job of closing out your night here in Snowshoe Mountain Resort and Snowshoe Village. As we are working on getting interviews down from the finish line now for our second and third place positions. I believe we'll be getting the word in here in just a few moments. Again, don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back live. That Racer TV broadcast time is scheduled for 1 o'clock tomorrow, so you might want to tune in a little bit early, catch those opening ceremonies, and hopefully the start of the race right there about the 1 o'clock hour tomorrow. A lot of it going to hinge, obviously, on what the cleanup from the morning race is like, and things of that nature. And sounds like we got a hot and good mic coming in from down at the finish line now. Let's go ahead and check in with Mikey Waynes down there and see what's going on as far as the rest of our podiums are concerned. Mikey?
Well, thanks, Rodney. Yeah, down here with Bryson Neal, man. Bryson taking a second place finish here today at the Snowshoe GNCC.
Oh, man, today was wild. On the first lap, I think I was third or fourth, and we came down this real gravelly section, and the dust was really, really thick. And, Borge almost overshot the corner, and I flat out did. And I completely wheelied one of those metal blockers that you're not supposed to even touch. Wheelied right over that thing, used the retraction. See tires never missed a beat. I got shuffled back to like 6th or 7th. Then in Howard's hole, Cole made a mistake, and he had a little fumble, and it stretched us out. But I was able to just had some good lines picked out. My friends down at the mud hole, can't thank them enough, and all the fans. They really helped me out, supported me, and made some good passes. Got in a second, and just put on sprint mode the last lap, and got the gap and brought it home.
Things seem to really be clicking for you, Bryson. What's making the difference for you here really all season?
Man, I think it's a combination. Core people, you know. I got Casey Greek and Jay Goebel, Elka coming in on board this year. My shock program has been amazing. Pat Kidwell and Zach and Toby Reed at Motor Experts. Everyone's just everything's just clicking. Getting a lot of stuff figured out, and I'm getting a lot of confidence too. So everything's just clicking, man. Feeling good. So. Just can't thank my dad and my Uncle Mike Gein enough. Those guys that I just mentioned, they're my key guys that really have my back no matter what, and it takes a group. So.
There you go, Bryson Neal taking second place here today in the overall.
And thanks a lot, Mikey, as, wow, what a day for Bryson Neal. He had his work cut out for him, and putting your head down, charging. It's good that it happened, I guess, early on. It gave him a chance to be able to work out of the deficit, at least to second place, but didn't give him that opportunity to see Walker Fowler. Walker Fowler was able to stretch things out and take a huge and monumental win. 1 minute and 11 seconds. But, of course, back there in that number 3 spot was Chris Borch, who finished only 28 seconds behind Bryson Neal in 3rd place. Jared McClure hangs on for 4th place. Adam McGill in 5th. Cole Richardson 6th. Hunter Hart in 7th. Drew Landers, winner of the XC2 class, is 8th place. Jordan Poplawski in 9th, and Marty Christopherson rounding out the top 10. Got to wonder what happened to Kevin Yoho, who was running up as far as 7th place from the Vet A30 Plus class. He's dropped at least to a 12th place. That doesn't mean once he checks in, he won't still be in a top 10 spot. So if he does, we'll let you know. Right now, we're going to check in with Chris Borch, who's with Mikey Waynes at the finish line.
Well, thanks, Rodney. Yeah, down here, Chris Borch, man, in a race, a snowshoe race where it always seems about survival, man, finishing out on the podium, that's got to be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, not bad. We were like 3rd to 5th all day, and yeah, this place is gnarly. Howard's hole, so many people down there, they just put you where they want to put you, and sometimes you get stuck. They obviously help you. Sometimes we make it through, but it was definitely a rough one this year, but yeah, happy to get 3rd.
There you go, Chris Borch. Man, you're chasing that next win, man. When's that going to happen for us? For you. I say for us, but for you.
Hopefully here soon. We've been putting the time in, just working hard, and yeah, just got to get good starts, get up front with these guys, and like you said, just keep it up on the box is a big thing, but obviously wins is huge as well.
Chris with a great day here today, finishing out 3rd in the overall.
Well, congratulations to Chris Borch as he takes another podium position finish here at Snowshoe Mountain, and still waiting. Haven't seen Kevin Yoho check in yet, but it looks like he certainly should be able to still hold on for the win for the Vet A class, barring no problems. But Drew Landers has checked in with 7 laps. Jordan Poplawski, 2nd place in the XC2 Pro-Am class, was 1 minute and 12 seconds back. He is checked in, and we're still waiting on 3rd place in the XC2 class. Will it be John Glotta? Glotta had moved up to 3rd place in the class just a few moments ago, but we'll have to wait and see. Check the results on GNCCRacing.com. In the meantime, on behalf of all of us here at Racer TV and the Snowshoe GNCC, I'm Rodney Tomlin saying good day, everybody.